and ahoy and g'day once again to ye mateys! I be your rigorously casual and unflinchingly right-handed DM, Josh the Pirate, and it brings me more excitement than watching 8 kinds of battered fish go into a deep fat fryer to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and Mano a Mano for more of that. With me I have my darling wife, Karen, the mother of bunnies, and our special guest for this evening, the marvellous Malaika Moon! Karen, who the absolute heck are you? Malaika, who the absolute heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, sometimes known as the Mother of Bunnies, usually on Twitch or on my Twitter, which will exist as long as Twitter continues in its current hellfire state. Do I like watching the world burn? Just a little bit. But you can also listen to me on the D&D podcast, There Be Dragons. There's a link in chat, or you can look up There Be Dragons on your preferred podcasting platform. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Hi. I am many things. I am a mystery. I don't know. No, I sing, I burlesque, I try to act, I sleep in more often than I should, and I am here and very confused, but hoping that this will go well.
Yes, Ukraine, there's a war on. You've probably heard about it in the news. It's been going sometimes good, sometimes bad. But either way, the wars create refugees, which sucks for everybody, but mostly for the refugees themselves. So if you would like to donate and help some Ukrainian refugees, there's a link in chat. This is for the Emergency Action Appeal. This is a group of not-for-profits and charities from Australia who have banded together specifically to raise money and send aid to the Ukrainian refugees. So you can donate for the first link. Second link is for the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is a nifty little 38-page digital pamphlet of Slavic-inspired monsters, subclasses. There's a little one-shot in there, and there's a really cool Lord of the Rings style map of Ukraine as well, which is very cool. And you can pay as much as you want for it, but the minimum is £1, which we believe is about $2 Australian at the current exchange rate. But yes, so if you would like to get a little something for your donation, their donations are going to the British Red Cross Appeal for Ukraine. So if you purchase that, the money goes there. And first link, you don't get anything in return except the warm sense of having done something good today. It was that we're doing one shot with the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth on Wednesday night. So if you would like to see what is in it, what the little subclasses and creatures are like, do come along on Wednesday night, and we'll be playing that, which will be loads of fun.
Yes.
And
with Daria and possibly somebody from the Dragon's Vault as well, who wrote the darn thing in the first place, which is very exciting. We also need to shout out Sirenscape for the music. It's a really handy service, and we've been using it for years, and it really adds a lot to your game. Currently, we've got the smooth jazz on. Check them out at sirenscape.com. And another thing we need to talk about is our affiliate link to Wooten Forge! !Wooten Forge! You can check them out, woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove for some beautiful handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories like this splendid thing. This is one half of my dice keeper. Here's the other half. Comes with enough room for a lot of dice. And a rolling tray on the other side. Gorgeous thing made of recycled wood. Australian Jarrah this is, and it's lovely, and I do all of my rolling for the channel in it. If you want to support the people at Wooten Forge, you can, woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove, and if you buy anything, we get a bit of a kick. Sweet! Thanks very much. So I think it might behoove all of us, particularly Malaika, if, Karen, you gave us a bit of a recap. What the absolute heck happened last time?
Yes, please.
let me just flip back. We rejoined Beryl the Bard turned ambassador for some freaking reason that she's not 100% sure of how that happened, but she's rolling with it. So Beryl has traveled to the lizard folks' temporary digs in the swamp with her trusty halfling friend Garish, also the dragonborn Gorok, to act as translator because he actually speaks their language, and Oceanus the Sea-Elf, because he didn't really have anything else to do, so he came with. But it turned out to be very handy that he was there. So, and we discover that the Lorcanthar are driving the lizard folk from their traditional underwater turf. Very disappointing.
The Lorcanthar.
Oh, I do apologize. The Shahag. There's too many races to remember.
The Lokanthar, and I will put a picture up of the Lokanthar so you can see whether or not you think they would ever do that.
I'm sorry. The Lokanthar are the cute ones.
That little boy, that little guy, they're actually quite mighty and fearsome archers and warriors, but yeah, he doesn't look like the kind of guy who'd like, yeah, no, he's a sweetie, that one. That's the Lokanthar,
Yeah.
the Shahagan.
Not the Lokanthar, sorry. The Shahagan are the terrifying, like,
that guy.
aquatic shark men people who want to kill everybody. And so the lizard folk have representatives from the various other aquatic races to try and come to an agreement of them all getting together to kick them out of their traditional hunting lands. So we've talked to the merfolk who are amenable, the Lokanthar who are amenable, though I may have promised them like a semi-submerged music center in Bottledown. And I haven't run that past the Bottledown Council, so we'll see how they feel about that. And now I'm going to, and we started last week with going to visit the Koalinth, who are like aquatic goblins, and they hate sea elves. So Oceanus is like not coming with us. Hate is a bit of an understatement. They freaking loathe each other. So it's a bit of an awkward meeting where I try not to reveal that I have a friend who's a sea elf.
And that there is a Koalinth for those interested.
Yeah, he really wants to murder all the sea elves, so that's kind of a sticking point. So we don't really get anywhere, but he doesn't kill me, so I consider that a bonus. We go have a chat to Oceanus, who's hanging out with the merfolk. Excuse me, that was my throat.
Do you need a drink, my love?
I have a drink.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
It's just doing anything. And she actually accidentally lets slip that there is a Shahagan being held prisoner. And I'm like, well, that's a red rag to this particular bard. So we go and talk to the Shahagan. We don't really have a language in common, so kind of
Oceanus
translates, muddles through because they have like a semi-similar language. So they kind of muddle through. It's very bloodthirsty. Doesn't seem to mind the idea of eating babies.
Which was why you went to talk to it, because you wanted to find out whether or not that was a thing they did on the regular.
Because the
Koalinth were very much like
thought that the sea elves were eating their babies, and the sea elves were like, "Why the hell would we do that?" And then someone else said, "Well, the Shahagan sometimes eat babies." And there was way too much talking about cannibalism in this episode. I remember now. So anyway, after that terrifying encounter...
It's a running theme, actually, on this channel, because it comes up quite a lot in Humblewood as well, because Bennick eats people. Because he's a vulture. Like, it's fair, but...
Yeah, but still, cannibalism.
It comes up a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Back in the tick.
So we go to have a drink and a snack at the eating hall, where we get mainly ignored. And we have an awkward conversation about what constitutes cannibalism.
Okay.
That was where the awkward conversation about cannibalism happened. I remember now. Because I'm trying to ingratiate myself to the lizard folk, I climb on the table and break into song. And I love my very detailed notes on how that went. It goes pretty well.
Yeah, I think you rolled quite high.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, look, we weren't anticipating music with our dinner, but this is fine.
It's fine. And so I decide to make some chit chat with some of the lizard folk, but instead I accidentally pick a fight with this huge guy and his lady friend who decide to fight us. So Garrett does his grow huge and fire whip thing, and I cast sleep as hard as I possibly can, and fortunately we are victorious, which seems to impress people, which is good. because I can't remember what his name was, but the guy comes back and is like, the Queen will see you now, and we're like, great, before anyone else tries to kill us.
Saraf.
We ran away. Saraf, thank you. Saraf comes to get us to go talk to the Queen, presumably to ask us how unofficial ambassadoring went, which was okay.
And I put a picture of Laclash up there so you know, you can remember exactly how big the dude you thought was. He was properly a size class large creature. He was a big guy, and yeah.
But yeah, like Brendan was talking smack about the sleep spell on Thursday, and I was like, oh no, sleep is great.
It's specific in specific circumstances. It is quite useful. Although I would endorse not relying on it today. I must also remind our where did I put it? Celebrated, famed, and possibly even renowned audience to please like, follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the ! Socials. We have the YouTube. And Ututba, that's the one. And we have the Discord. I should actually just make the command Ututba. I type it more often. And we have that Discord boy as well. So if you want to join us on any of those things, you're very welcome to. We post semi-regularly, and the Discord is quite lively if you like pictures of pets. I think that's about all we need to say and do and be. So, mateys, may your alliances be easily forged and all your babies remain uneaten as we head, tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion, tell us. So, Beryl, you have just concluded a rather physical disagreement concerning your involvement or otherwise in lizardfolk politics with a particularly huge specimen named Laclash, and Minister Saraf has invited you back to speak once again with Queen Othakent. Taking your companions with you as you go, I presume?
Yes.
Sure. So, in fact, let us put the picture of Brenda away. There we are. And have our dice roller back up. So, where are we? Well, in fact, that's the wrong piece of music, because the Queen's audience chamber is much as you remember it, though a little more full. A square chamber carved from the rock, about 60 feet wide, with 2 rows of columns along the sides, and a collection of trophy heads from various animals displayed on the walls. You recall, you recognize about half of them. There was a rhino, but you're like, no idea what that is. A giant frog. There's a Shikagan's head in here, and a few other bits and pieces. No landfolk mammal, no sentient beings other than the Shahagan, though. The Queen is sitting on her throne, an elegant though quite organic affair constructed of bone and shell as much as wood and cloth. And she has her 2 children sitting at her feet. If you recall, she has her kids sort of learning the ropes very much at her feet. A little boy and a little girl, and neither of them are that small, actually. They're probably bigger than Garrett already. The boy has the look of, like, he doesn't get shit right as often as his sister does, and receives a good cuff around the head whenever he fucks it up. But yeah, they're both there sitting diligently listening. She is dressed very regally, but like swamp regal. Like, you get that idea. Sort of quite tribal, but it's fancy though for all that, and actually not unattractive. She is a blue-hued lizard folk, which is quite unusual. Lizard folk tend to be between yellow and green, and yeah, she has blue scales, as do both of her children. Yevgathah the Merfolk Emissary is sitting near her on her left, though he looks a little different below the waist from how he did before Beryl, because where before he had a single tail fin, now are a pair of well-formed, though still quite aquatic-looking legs. There is webbing between the toes and behind the knee, and he has added a short skirt of the same material as the bracelet that he gave you. So it's sort of silvery. It looks like metal, but it's moving like fabric. With him stands the Locantha ambassador and Shemanae. Malaika, would you describe Shemanae for us, please? Like, what does she look like?
Shemanae is a blue-skinned merfolk, if I have that correct. She's quite tall and well-developed for a member of the merfolk, so you can see that she's someone who is quite active. And given that she is in the throne room, she isn't heavily armed, but...
Right.
I think that's the description that I have at the moment. What else should I describe her?
No. That's fine, thank you. And across from this group stands a pair of Koalinth, who, when you enter, bristle. Because behind you is one of your buddies, Oceanus. Now, one of them even goes to throw a spear. Like, that's how... No. Fortunately, someone, presumably Othakent or Sarav, has placed a pair of guards near these guys to prevent exactly this incident happening. And two large and burly lizard folk just sort of one hand on each shoulder of the two Koalinth, who sort of calm down a bit. Not a lot. There is still quite a lot of hissing. And they seem to be ready to attack. Beryl, how do you think Oceanus would respond, and how do you respond to this naked aggression?
I would probably kind of try and stand in front of him, which wouldn't be super effective because he's bigger than me. But
yeah.
You know, it's the gesture that counts. Like, whoa.
You lie! You do know Sea-Elf.
I don't think I said I didn't know a Sea-Elf.
Persuasion check, please, Beryl. You didn't not say that. You were very specific to avoid answering that particular question.
I did not say.
Yeah, I know. You minced your words excellently. Hey, Bishop Blood.
I just chose to infer that meant I didn't. Oh shit, 23.
Ooh, that's deception, but sure.
Oh, what was supposed to be,
still
sorry?
very persuasion, but it's the same, I think.
Yeah, they're both a +5.
But it's an 18. It's very good. He backs down a little bit. He sort of...
You clever with word.
And... Yes, at this point, Yevgathah... No, sorry, at this point, Othakent says...
This is enough. Thank for coming, Beryl Fury. Ambassador Yevgathah has proposition. I have heard. I like. I think you and your Sea-Elf friend should also hear. Ambassador?
And Yevgathah takes the floor. My friends, my companion, Shemanae, had a quiet conversation with our honored Sea-Elf friend, and relayed part of it to me. And I thought it worth bringing to the attention of Queen Othakent, and from that, we came across this solution to the Koalinth issue. Our honored friends, the Koalinth's issue. As I understand it, the Koalinth fear that if they devote too much military resources to this alliance, the Sea-Elves will take advantage. And Oceanus says, we never attack them. What is this? We only defend. Yes, my friend, yes.
Like, yeah.
We have, potentially, a solution. And the Koalinth, for the first time, like, oh yeah. I propose that both the Sea-Elves and the Koalinth are asked to join the Alliance. and a resolution be made among the species of the Alliance. Any species that attacks any other species in the Alliance, all the other member races will turn on the aggressor. That way, our friends the Koalinth have 100% protection. If the Sea-Elves, as you fear, will attack you again, then you will have what you want, allies to fight them, and they will be overcome. But if you turn on them, the same is also true. Safety for all. We all act as each other's deterrents.
Can I look at Oceanus' face to kind of gauge his reaction to this proposition?
Oceanus is looking at Shemanae like, wow, this went a long way from where we chatted. He was like, basically, Shemanae, Oceanus has basically expressed his irritation with the whole, the way the Locantha were acting, the Koalinth were acting, because his people, firstly, they believe they did not start the war, but the Koalinth also believe that about themselves. It's been going for far too long. The Koalinth are a very short-lived species, so they are generations down the track of, okay. No, we didn't start the fire, somebody else did, we're just fighting the war. Whereas the Sea-Elves can remember very clearly, a lot of them are still alive from when the war started, and they're like, no, it was them, but there's no telling them that. And they are not aggressive to the Koalinth, they just defend themselves when attacked, and very successfully. But the Koalinth see it as weakness, and think that the Sea-Elves are on their last legs, and just one final push will do it. So there's no convincing them to stop, because they think they've nearly won. Yeah, that's basically what he explained to you. It said, we don't want this anymore, and it's impossible because the Koalinth think they have us beaten. Okay. And that's what that's the information he gave you. That is the information you then relayed to Yevgathah, and okay. Yevgathah has taken this and run. So he's looking at you, not angry, just sort of a, wow, that went a long way. But Beryl,
it's the Ron Burgundy means, like, wow, that escalated
quickly. Exactly. Put my foot in it. African Australian, I believe, Malaika, is that right?
Sorry? What's the question?
Tony Karlstrom in chat is asking if you're Indigenous Australian, but you're not, are you? You're African.
No. Migrated from Uganda.
Yes, exactly, Tony. I could not agree more. Phoenix is doing an all-African show soon as well, which is very, very cool. But it's hard to find the people. This is the trick. So, yes. So, yeah, his answer to that, Beryl, is... You don't know the guy super well, so you can make me an insight for anything more than...
I've known Oceanus for a few days.
Yeah, 3 days or so.
3 days. We've really been through it.
Whoa.
Non-natural 20, dirty
Filthy 20. Okay. Yeah, Filthy 20. He seems gratified. He is surprised that anyone could come up with a potential solution to this. He has been a little bit disappointed that his people were being left out of this. And he is gratified that someone seems to want them in. And this might actually lead to a lasting peace for his people. So he is on board, as it were.
Cool.
And he would say as much. He would say, I don't believe it would be difficult to sell my people, the council, on this at all. If a peace can be reached with the Honorable Koalinth, then I see no reason that we shouldn't try. I am happy to lead a delegation to my people and put this before them. It is not the easiest to find our settlement. you would need a sea elf to take you. I would also, in the most polite way I can possibly say it, stress that a Koalinth ambassador should probably not be part of the initial delegation.
Not least because they might stab him in his sleep.
There is that. And the Koalinth, all eyes sort of turn to the Koalinth at this point. And the Koalinth ambassador, an ambassador is not the right word. He specified he wasn't an ambassador. He was basically just a message delivery person. He says he's clearly thinking about it, and eyeing Oceanus. Like, he obviously doesn't trust. He's like, yeah, you say that now, elf.
It's like, we could have peace, or I could just eat you and be done with it.
But, like, your people eat our babies. And... yeah, I think that's what he'd say. He says, elves speak of peace and eat children. And there is a ripple around the room. Yevgathah has clearly never heard that accusation. The Lokanthar ambassador, same deal. Othakan, however, obviously has. And Othakan, if you're watching her, kind of smiles a bit. Like, who hasn't done that, though?
Who amongst us has not occasionally eaten an enemy's baby?
Enemies?
What?
No, it's more like...
I say that, knowing that mother rabbits have been known to.
Why waste it? If the predator's just gonna eat it, might as well keep the nutrients your own self. Yeah.
Ironically, I don't know if anyone can hear the nibbling sound behind me, but one of the rabbits is really going to town on a piece of cardboard, so that's what that is.
Yeah. Othakan looks to you, Beryl. Says, with a look of, any thoughts on how to convince this guy? Sarov would say, this we have heard before, and yet no proof. Sea-Elves, not famous meat eaters.
Oh. Look, I, for one, think that they say they don't eat babies, and you say they do. Clearly someone is, but we don't know exactly who. So perhaps the matter warrants further investigation. I'm doing the wrong accent.
Yeah, you're Cash right now.
I'm sorry, oh my god.
Dolly Parton.
I got distracted by
Wow.
the baby eating thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I didn't even hear it because I'm used to
Boy,
Cash.
howdy. Well, I, for one, like, you say, you have to do so much editing for this. Well, here's the thing. You say they've been eating your babies. They say that they would never do that. So, maybe the matter warrants further investigation. And for the time being, we can assume that nobody's been eating babies that's currently present.
I, for one, have never eaten the infant of any species. Well, do fish roe count? But other than that...
Sentient babies!
Yes.
Says Beryl, who's definitely eaten some veal in her day or something.
Would Shemanae have anything to add in this argument?
What Shemanae have anything to add?
Doesn't have to have. Just
Could we stop talking about eating babies? It makes me really uncomfortable.
Shemanae knows that the Shahagan do occasionally eat the young of their enemies. She knows that because she suggested it to Beryl.
Okay.
Yeah, you too.
I don't think she has anything to contribute.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, how do they react to me being like, well, you say they do, and they say they don't. So maybe we could just give everyone a little bit of breathing room while we just suss this out. Like, do they look like offended? Like, I should be like,
They
deaf to
look
the baby
like
eaters?
they've heard that loads of times before. Like, that's what everyone says.
Look,
Why can
I
you not
know-
see that these people eat our babies?
I know that everyone probably says that. And it must be very frustrating for you when clearly you have been subjected to a great wrong. But I think it is wrong to accuse someone of something when you don't know for sure that they've done it, you know? And I think it would be a shame if we were to wrongly punish the wrong person for killing your children, only for then children to continue being killed because we got the wrong person or species.
It's as good a proposal as any, I suppose.
Do we
The
have
Rock.
spy cameras in this world? Can we set up a little spy camera?
The Rock will say something actually at this point. He's going to try a different tack.
Ooh.
Garuk, who is a red dragonborn, a fire-breathing dragonborn, so a humanoid dragon, quite muscular, quite a large guy. He's bare-chested, wearing sort of pantaloon, like big parachute, sort of MC Hammer pants. Think the genie from Aladdin, but a dragon. That sort of vibe.
That is a vibe.
Yeah. But with this voice, he would say, consider perhaps, Ambassador, that your goal when you came here was to get the agreement of these other races to help you fight the Sea-Elves. If you believe so clearly that the Sea-Elves are evil and will just attack you again, then all they need do is do it once, and you will have the allies you seek. If you are right, then there will be no trouble for you, and if you are wrong, then you have a peace that lasts. You win either way. For surely all your people want is peace to raise your children. And will one of you roll...
Why didn't I think of that?
You were advised by the Locanthar, I think, to talk to them. He's a military guy. He's a soldier.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to ask Malaika, could you roll me a persuasion check on behalf of Garuk?
Okay.
See how this goes down.
Okay.
Does it go down like an expensive whiskey or a cheap vodka?
Oh, the little animation is going.
The suspense.
Just doing its thing.
Yeah,
Well,
sometimes my
it's
dice
normal.
get really slow.
Oh yeah, D&D Beyond is the connection can be rather slow. The Koalinth sort of sits back, you remember how he walked? He was sort of very crab-like. His armor had almost encrusted around him. Very sort of a Mines of Moria goblin, but green-skinned. A 2. Not ideal.
Oh, ouch.
Garuk isn't bad at it though, but yes, it would only be an 8 with his modifier.
Can I help?
You may. If either of you have anything to add to what Garuk has said.
I was kind of like, really, that's the best possible outcome for you, because if they are killing your babies, then you're gonna have like all of these fine folks right behind you going, this shall not pass. And if not, then we can all help you find out who is doing it and bring them to justice.
Wait, is the two? Is that me? Am I a two? Is anything I say gonna make things worse?
I don't know, because you rolled for Garak. If you want to
You
add
rolled on
something
his
as well,
behalf.
go for your life. And I'll have another one from one of you. But yes,
Is
if you
this
want to add
persuasion?
anything as well, Shemanae.
Okay, I just got a dirty 20 to persuade. So
Pretty good. I would like to hear what Shemanae has to add, if she has anything to add, though. Just for flavor. It's not going to affect the outcome any further.
If I've forgotten what the race is called. God damn it.
The Koalinth?
No, the other ones, and they're literally called Sea-Elves, so
Yeah.
that's a bit embarrassing.
It's a little unimaginative, that one, but yeah.
yes, we got the Lokanthar, the Shahagan, the Koalinth, and then Sea-Elves.
If the so the Koalinth are the ones that she's speaking to. If your people only require one final glorious battle, as you say, against the Sea-Elves in order to punish them and remove them completely from the face of the earth, then a glorious battle such as this would surely be achieved with all of the allies that would be acquired with such an alliance as this.
He walks with a sort of bent-legged gait above the water. He looks like he could move very well underneath, but above the water he has a sort of a hunched form, and he rocks back onto his tailbone, as you've seen him do before, and just sort of rocks back, sitting down, and uses his very organic trident as a balance point. And he eyes the pair of you, and Garak. You make good point. I take offer to my people. Arthur Kent, you provide spokesperson, support. And Arthur Kent would look around the room and say, perhaps, Ambassador, you could take your proposition to the Koalinth, and your second, looking at Shemanae, would accompany our friend Oceanus to the Sea-Elves. A merfolk delegation in both directions sounds fair to me. Don't know why I'm saying it in that voice. She's hissing. Yeah.
We're just playing swap the accent out.
Yeah.
This is when you put too
Far
many
too many
NPCs
NPCs in one
the same
room.
Josh.
I'm sorry. It's hard.
Amateur mistake, mate.
It's in the book.
Perhaps you take one go each place. You, Yevgathah, go Koalinth. You, Shemanae, go Sea-Elf with Oceanus. Perhaps Beryl. You go too?
Oh. Well, if they're happy to have me, I would be honored to be taken to the Sea-Elves home and see if we can reach some sort of agreement.
I did promise to take you there.
You did. I was kind of hoping it'd be for fun, though, not to prevent a war, but, you know.
There's nothing stopping us doing both. And you can breathe underwater with that helmet.
I can't. Like, I give it a little pat.
And Garrett looks a little... He hasn't spoken really in this. He's been sort of like... very much
Me
sort of
too, Garrett.
conversation tennis. So Garrett Dale is a young halfling boy. I say boy, he's about 16. He's
late teens, you know.
Yeah, mid to late teens. And halflings... He's a fairly sturdy chap as well. He's a level 3 fighter, rune knight. He's actually a decent combatant and a handy guy to have around. Nice kid. Beryl caught him stealing books on the streets of Alfheim. He got a little time in juvie, essentially, but he's gotten himself straightened out. Basically, she made sure that after that, he got an apprenticeship as a scribe. You like books so much, here's all the books you can ever have!
the rating!
And he really took to it, and he turned out okay. And she met him on the road a few years later, and being attacked by a crow. that wouldn't leave him alone. And they hooked up sort of as traveling companions and nothing more. And they've been traveling together for like 3-4 weeks now. They've saved each other's lives a couple of times, and he is completely out of his depth in this conversation. So he's just sort of been standing there watching. And he pipes up and says, "Shame I can't come with, but I could offer my services on behalf of Bottledown. Any alliance needs to be written down, right?"
That is very true. You could be the one to write our agreement, to put our agreement to paper.
Oh, that would be kind of cool, actually. Well, I'll stay with Queen Offerkent and the Lokenthar ambassador, and we'll draft that up, and I'll make it look all nice. And then samples can be taken to each race for ratification. Is that the sort of the right word?
I think so.
Cool. And Garuk says, "Well, my whole point of coming here was to establish trade relations, so I might as well. I'll take some time. I'll stay with our friend Garrett. And, Beryl, you and Oceanus, go and breathe the water."
What happens if my helmet falls off while I'm 50 feet under?
Don't let that happen.
Okay. I
recommend a strap.
Yeah, I was just thinking I might tie something around it. Just.
Cool. Alrighty.
How far is it to?
Oh, it's about if you don't mind, I'm not going to say.
Exactly.
Well, actually, he would say he would, because you're speaking Elvish, which the Koalinth doesn't speak. So he would say 6 hours swim.
Oh,
at the rate I know you can swim when you're wearing that helmet, and I imagine Lady Shemanae is more than capable of swimming at a similar pace. And he bows deeply to you, Shemanae. And Yevgathah looks at you like, "Don't fuck this up."
No pressure, bud.
And then walks over to the Koalinth like, there's a look of, in fact, he would say to you in Merfolk, shouldn't be overly difficult, but you've definitely got the easier job. But please don't fuck this up, my dear.
I wish I spoke with folks. So, like, that's Beryl's mantra this whole time. Like,
don't
Beryl's
fuck it
a
up.
bard who used to be essentially a cop, like a country cop. So she's way out of her depth here.
No. She was like a detective in a city.
Okay.
Alfheim is the capital of Rennes. And you were like, I don't know if we ever established a like rank, but I would have thought she wasn't a beat cop. She was reasonably high. I would have said at least a sergeant in the police force of Alfheim.
Yeah, she wasn't a rookie, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's just like, I
But
don't deal with
she's a cop, not a
she's
diplomat.
politics.
Hard-boiled Beryl. Yeah, she had the overcoat and the dirt pit hat. That sort of not dirt pit.
Smoking a cigarette.
Dirt gently. That
Now
sort
it's
of
gotten too tough for the likes of me.
This is wearing down on my gams. Cool.
Now just got the Law and Order theme playing in my head.
Done.
Bum, bum.
That's how she starts all her gigs.
In Alfheim, yeah.
On the hard streets of Alfheim.
The people are represented by two indifferent but equally important. The dwarves who investigate the crimes and the halflings who prosecute them afterwards.
These are their stories.
These are their stories. Bum bum. Full Columbo. Yeah, if you want that, go and check out the Nerds of the West. On Friday evenings, they do a police procedural D&D game in a fantasy city. It's very funny.
Wait, how is this
hey,
the
Jack.
first time I'm hearing about this?
It's Reese and Tom's girlfriend
Beck.
Beck, and a couple of others. Yes, and Yeah, they play rookie cups. It's very funny. Anyway, yeah, you are basically shown out the door. They're like, okay, well, let's do that then. That sounds great.
Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split ya.
Yeah. It's actually coming up on sort of evening, so while the time is of the essence, it would be fully appropriate to wait until morning to head off. But your call.
Oceanus, I suppose I'm wondering, in terms of our safety in traveling to your home, would it be better for us to travel at night or during the daytime? Because we could go now, like it is the evening, but if it only takes as long as you say, then we'll be there by midnight. But if we'd be safer waiting for dawn, we can...
I would suggest you've had a physical encounter today. It's been a long one. I would suggest, if Her Majesty is not opposed to the idea, that we take 8 hours and head in the morning. This is acceptable to Lady Shemanae. The Koalinth are leaving tonight, but they came in force. Yevgathah will have a full military guard, whereas you guys, it's just the 3 of you.
We can travel a little more covert.
Yeah.
Low key.
In most of the trip is through a kelp forest. But
that sounds very creepy at night, not gonna lie.
In nighttime, particularly if you're not used to being underwater, it could be quite unpleasant.
Yeah, I'll do my best, but I don't want to panic and try and get away underwater.
Exactly. You could get lost. So perhaps we wait till morning. I'm ready for a sleep too. Cool. You have dinner. You have You're welcome to say anything you'd like, but we can just sort of Star Wars wipe cut to the following morning.
Do we want wipe cut? Do we want the come down to a point? Do we want the panels that
the swirling Batman transition?
No. Not a PowerPoint. But Star Wars often has a screen wipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. We can...
It dates it, is all. That's the only thing. But yeah. A pleasant meal is had by all. Garrett and Garruk. Really wish I had named them something. Give you a good send off. Garrett is he's a bit sad to be missing out, but there is something of a feast, as it would appear that an agreement might be in the offing. Not a full sort of there is no roast chahagan yet.
Well, they haven't killed it and presented it yet?
No. The dishes of several species are being served up. Some more of the Lokanthar sushi is brought out. I can't remember what it was, the merfolk. Tell you what, I'll throw it to Malaika. What kind of exotic seafood do you think the merfolk would eat? Anyway, I'll make up bullshit, because it's normally my job.
Wow, thank you for giving me so much warning with this. What the hell does a mermaid eat? I'm trying to think of The Little Mermaid. That's my only reference.
Do we ever see them eating in The Little Mermaid?
No, I don't think so.
No.
The Lokanthar bring out the Lokanthar delegation. Ooh, sea snails.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like it. How would they be prepared? Was it like French style?
Because we're still above ground, aren't we? So it's not like we're just eating fresh sea snails. It's underwater. You can't bloody cook them.
Well, this is a world where magic exists, so you can boil the water locally.
Oh, that's fun.
You want to
That would be
broil
a cool way to cook. Just make
Yeah.
the air or water around something just get really hot.
really hot. Yeah, poached.
Okay.
You know.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the sea snails prepared with I don't know, they're stewed in their shells, prepared with kelp.
Love it.
Yum.
Yeah, sounds nice. It comes out and Oceanus says, I haven't had some of that. Amazing. I haven't had this in ages. And dives in. Like, so it's very much a buffet. It's standing room only, really. Everyone's having a bit of it. The lizard folk have prepared a haunch of giant frog on a spit. And yeah, that has been sort of spit roasted. And it's battered in it looks like mud, but it tastes really good. And Garrett's learning so many things. He's like he has gone about so many things. Then the seafood, the sushi from the Lokanthar comes out, and he goes, well, I know I like that, so he has a few of them. And then he gingerly tries like one bit of everything, and then has to go back and get a full plate full of everything. He's just like, oh no, actually, that's brilliant. And he's a halfling; he can eat for days. And he and Garuk, it's a fun pair, are just going around sampling things. Garuk, where most people have in their pouch an eating knife and a small bowl for traveling, and so you always have food utensils on you. Garuk has a skewer. Just a single metal skewer, so that everything he eats is on a stick. And
Should explain to Malaika that where he comes from, they have the food on a stick festival, where all the food is presented on a stick,
or manufactured to be sticks, or like there was fried gecko where the tails were like rigid, so you
the tail was the stick.
Yeah, like
It was
a
very
popsicle.
good.
Breadsticks.
They're very
or-
passionate about food on a stick in Chalderon.
Love it.
And the remaining members of the Koalinth delegation actually provide some aquatic liquor.
Ooh.
It's quite salty, but strong. Like salty whiskey. It's probably not to everyone's taste, to be honest. Garuk tries it and sort of.
Ooh, you can get Dutch salty licorice liquor or
Ooh.
salty vodka.
Let's say it's that
that's-
then.
Oh no.
Salted licorice
Liqueur.
liqueur.
Oh. Having tried salted licorice, it's an experience.
Just each word of that was worse than the last. What on earth?
I prefer salted licorice to normal licorice, but
Really? It's really intense. It's
Yeah.
a real kick in the taste buds.
an actual I prefer that.
Slightly
And-
physically painful. To me, at least. But for those of you who are curious, you just need to find like one of those little like lolly shops that has all the weird international stuff. They will probably have salty licorice.
I also need to. I am remiss. I need to thank Captain Double XD for the follow and Borans. Thank you very much for the follow as well, you bloody champions. Good on you, mateys, Avast and such. So excellent. Good bullshit makeup there, guys. Excellent.
We're eating snails and drinking salty licorice.
Salted licorice. Love it.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a
that takes all
combo.
kinds, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, these people do live underwater a lot, so yeah, they're used to a lot of salt in their food. The following day dawns. I don't know, would Shemanae have indulged heavily in the alcoholic offerings? Garuk also had a cask of beer. It's running a little dry now, but he would have made sure all the important people got at least a glass. So
Beryl,
there is
an
a good
important person.
Chaldoranian beer. Yes, of course, you're the diplomat from Bottledown.
Yeah, the council's
yes.
going to be so stoked when they find out about
They
that
did
promotion.
give you the authority to make agreements on their behalf.
Do that.
I would say that Shemanae, she probably drinks enough to be polite, and then she's very skilled at emptying her glass without it going anywhere near her mouth after that.
Right.
Nice.
Pours down her shoulder while she's like.
Dumping into nearby potted plants.
Emperor's New Groove. Cool. And Beryl, do you indulge?
Oh, not too much, because she knows she has to swim through a kelp forest the next day.
That's true. Beryl, Garrett and Garrick do get into it a little bit. They have a good
They're not
fun.
going anywhere. They're allowed to get hammered.
They try the licorice liqueur, and Garrett. Yeah, I think true to form, Garrett just keeps like, oh, I don't mind that. And Garruk says, it is very potent. And then, he takes a good sniff and sneezes, and he does it upwards because a gout of flame comes out of his nostrils. Because it's at least 50% proof. And yeah, that's the things that happened there. Following morning.
I just realized, because I googled salty alcohol to see what would come up, and when Dutch salty licorice liqueur comes up, the first line that comes up is an acquired taste and not for the faint-hearted.
Probably.
That's a lot of words to say bad.
It's like when you're younger and you're allowed to drink booze for the first time and you're super excited, and then you actually try it and you're like,
Try it.
do people drink this?
Well, someone once pointed out that martinis are just shots for people who think they're too fancy to do shots, and I can never not think about that.
Yeah.
It's just a glass of alcohol, and it tastes bad, but just do a shot. Just do a shot.
Shots are
See,
great.
I actually quite like the taste of a really dry martini. Like, lots of olive. And I don't like olives, but I like the olive flavor.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, wow! Dreaded GM is raiding! Ahoy and avast,
Dread.
mateys! Welcome, raiders! Dread, you bloody champion, how are you? Favorite raid emotes up in chat, everyone. I'm gonna put some Alright Hype Cats up there. And some of my own raid emotes.
Goose Raid, on deck.
Yes, favorite Goose Raid. Our marvelous Goose Raid, Arthur, the fearsome goose. Welcome, you bloody champions. Thank you so much for the raid. How was your... So this, I believe, is Dread's Mano a Mano night as well, because Dread plays one-on-one D&D, but it's one against himself. He is playing Storm King's Thunder solo. And it's the DM and the player. He's doing both.
So he has to somehow trick himself into burning all his spell slots before a big fight.
Having played Storm King's Thunder, it's not super on the it's not massive about the subterfuge sort of thing. But it's an excellent story. Guys, how was your game? Dread, you bloody legend, thank you so much for joining us. We are playing Mano a Mano with a special guest. Malaika Moon has joined us this evening for some Mano duo now.
And we were just discussing the merits or lack thereof of Dutch salty licorice liqueur, and I have another amazing quote from the website that sells it.
Oh god.
Salty licorice liqueur has an astringent sea salt taste, which has been described as tongue-numbing and almost stinging.
You're not selling it, I've got to be honest.
They're really not selling it.
It's okay to stop making something. It's all right.
Briny.
No one's making them do this.
Yeah, this is
Who
a
hurt
distillery, and they've made the decision to make this.
Oh man. Oh,
So,
God.
to catch our raiders up, Beryl and Shemanae. Karen is playing Beryl, the dwarven bard, and Shemanae is technically a water genasi rogue. And the two of them are going to go and convince the Sea-Elves with their buddy Oceanus to joined the alliance of creatures to fight the evil Shahagan. Brine and Squid Ink with a touch of licorice. Oh, next Draconis, you're just making it worse. I love it, but it's... Yeah.
You know, I feel like I have to acquire some of this stuff so we can drink it on stream and you guys can watch us suffer.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. Why, watch us torture ourselves.
Alright,
So,
how much does this shit go for? How much am I prepared
You know
to...
it's gonna be like an arm and a leg and a kidney because everything that's bad, they'll be like, let's just rack up the prices so rich idiots buy it.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
so it is the third most popular liqueur in Finland.
God damn it, Finland!
I knew
Why?
that.
Possibly
actually.
because it is 32% proof.
That's, for a
I
liqueur,
can't
that's a
even
lot.
judge. I can't even judge. Uganda has Waragi, so yeah.
What's that?
Oh my goodness, this just keeps getting better. I can't pronounce the Finnish name. I'm not going to try. But it was introduced to the Finnish market in the early 1990s. Shortly after its release, production was banned because it was selling too well.
What?
The popular drink was reintroduced to the market in 1995, this time with a lower alcohol percentage. It has been among the best-selling products in the Finnish alcohol monopoly ever since.
Because
apparently the Finns really like their salty licorice abomination. Possibly because it's really strong. $50 a bottle, in case anyone was curious.
Yeah, apparently Nordic countries really love their licorice. Hey, Scrappy the Goblin, good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, man.
Yes, our two players are going to go and do a diplomatic embassy, but first they gotta get there. So the following morning, after the diplomatic meeting, after the function, the dinner that you have the night before.
Yes, we have the dinner with the salty liquor and sea snails and kelp.
Delicious sea snails and kelp and things. I presume Beryl politely tries everything at least once.
Oh yeah, and I would whip out the old dulcimer and do some singing and stuff as well.
Oh yes.
The mud that's not mud, encrusted giant frog leg.
Hmm.
Hey, giant frog
good.
leg has its benefits, you know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got the support of the priest here by giving him some giant frog leg.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was my in.
Beer battered giant frog leg. That one. Right. So the following morning, you guys head off with Oceanus. Right there, Karen?
Yeah, just choking a little. I've also discovered you can get 55 mils taster of the salty licorice for $15 plus postage.
Yes. Beryl, you and here you go, Scrappy. Beryl, you and Shemanae both wake up feeling absolutely fine from even if you did consume quite a bit of alcohol the previous evening because you have diplomatic immunity. Nice.
If only that's how it really works. Then you could just become a diplomat and fucking get off your face all the time, and then just wake up in the morning and be like,
so
what hangover?
You dive down through the ocean and the depths embrace you. You head out of the lizard folk caverns, which are in a swamp near the coast, and yes, basically Oceanus leads you out there. Beryl, I'm going to say you dive in last because you are the non-aquatic member of the group. And as you dive in,
a scarf or something to tie my water-breathing helmet on securely.
I like it. Oh, that's excellent. So it looks a little bit like, when a lady does her hair up and doesn't want to get it muzzed before or puts it in rollers. It's that, but you're holding on this Grecian-style helmet instead.
It's a look. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
I am a bard. I've got to be a little bit flamboyant.
Scuba bonnet. Exactly, next to Goddess, it's a scuba bonnet.
Scuba bonnet.
Yes.
Splendid work. Chat has inspiration. So enjoy your lurk, Tony. All right, yes, you dive in, and as Shemanae dives in, her legs reform sort of magically, essentially, into a long flowing fin of more of her same skin tone. And Beryl, you witness this. Oceanus is doing a freestyle kick through the water, and both seem to be moving very comfortably in their native environment. Beryl,
I always want to like tie a line on and get toned down because I feel very unco next to these guys. Just
yes,
along.
and when you swim, it's almost like there is a force propelling you through the water a little bit. The helmet gives you the ability to move as fast as they can, but it's with the same effort as walking. Essentially, gives you a swim speed of 30 feet.
Oh, great, cool. So, I shoot through the water faster than I was expecting.
Yeah. So you dive down into the ocean, and the depths embrace you. While not bright, you find that you can still see quite well, though the scene has a moody cast to it. And Beryl, you'd be aware also that the helmet gives you dark vision as well.
Dark vision.
You already do, but it's a different kind of thing to see underwater. That's
Do I have dark vision?
For the purposes of seeing underwater, yes, you do.
Okay.
Not traditionally speaking, no, but yes, you can. The darkness of the deep water isn't a problem for you. Up ahead, you can see a vast kelp forest, rendered in greens and golds, and all swaying gently in the current. This is a bit of a new mode of travel for Beryl, the strangeness of the place coupled with a three-dimensional movement. So how would you be traveling? A straight line, like the three of you in a row, or three ways across, like just moving in a bump? What's the deal?
Like, speaking for myself, I think Beryl would be trying to keep between the two aquatic folk.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because presumably they're kind of a bit more across the situation we're in.
Sure.
But she's not trying to be super, like on the nose about it. She's trying to act casual, like she's not a little freaked out.
Okay. Shemanae notices that Beryl's kind of dropping behind Oceanus, and she gracefully, without a word, sort of moves so that they're in a line formation, and she is bringing out up the rear.
Very well. Cool. You do that. Lovely. Oceanus is obviously confident he can find his way home with little difficulty, and he directs you with casual ease. You swim like this for a couple of hours. Would you chat while you're traveling? Because all three of you can talk underwater now, because of the helmet. So if you want to get to know your new traveling companion, Beryl...
oh, God, something flew on my face, sorry. I think a mosquito is attracted to the light. Wait, have I visited the Sea-Elves before?
They have several settlements. You've definitely been to one or two of them. You might not necessarily have been to this one before. If you would like to determine if you've been to this particular place, roll a history check.
Ooh, okay, I will do. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, I get to watch the really slow dice for me.
And now we wait while the dice just slowly...
It's sort of doing things in its own time, really. Just sort of floating across the stream without a care in the world.
Good for it, you know? It's been a stressful week in my life. Hasn't it, Tori?
While we wait, Karen, tell us about your Redbubble shop.
Oh, shoot, yes. While we're waiting for the dice to finish. So I'd been working on a little mother of bunnies, like a word picture that looks like a rabbit. So I took the opportunity, having just paid for a massive vet bill, to slap it up on Redbubble. So that's my Redbubble shop there. So if you think the little design that Josh has just popped back up of the mother of bunnies shaped like a bunny is really cute, you can buy something from my Redbubble shop. And if you do it before midnight tonight, you get 25% off, which is Redbubble, not me. Yeah. And you can help me feel better about my vet bill that I paid for this ungrateful little shithead. Yes, you.
Who is so much more cheerful, though.
Oh, yeah.
He's a very happy
really
boy
happy
now. And it's really nice to see.
I was in the incredibly fortunate position that it happened at a point where I had enough in my savings to pay for it. which I'm very grateful for, because there definitely would have been points in the last few years would have been like, sorry, Tori.
That's unfortunate. Yeah,
That's
it could have been
you, mate.
Been a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but it stung, and it's like Christmas in a month.
Yeah, there is that too.
But I also think it's a really cute little design, and I'm gonna ask my mother-in-law to make it in like purple glittery with her cricket machine. Unfortunately, you can't order in glitter options, so I'm gonna be like, "Hey, Penny, you know how you made that other T-shirt for
and
me?
she would
You wanna make
love
it purple?"
to.
Oh, she will. She'll be stoked.
Yeah, she'll be happy
Any
to use
to
the
bust
thing.
that bad boy out.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, a 7 all up.
Yeah, I keep rolling twos.
You've definitely not been to this one before. Basically, that's all that matters. You've been to a couple, but not in this area. You know that the Sea-Elves have several they don't live in one little cluster. It's loads of settlements, quite diffuse around this area of the ocean floor. This is a large ocean between two significant. The world has two significant land masses, and this is the ocean between. It is the big world-spanning ocean, and yeah, they don't live in any one particular place, but this enclave of the Sea-Elves is quite an important one, locally certainly, and you've never been here. And Oceanus is happy to. He's visibly excited to be A, going home, and B, showing new people to it.
I suppose the other question is kind of like, I'm struggling to word this. Like, do they have different reputations? You know, kind of like whether you're excited about going to Melbourne as opposed to Parapadu, sort of.
Oh, sure.
Is this the Melbourne of the Sea Elf world or the Parapadu? I shouldn't slag off Parapadu. It's got a great name.
Don't want to.
Newman.
Like, it's
Newman
certainly
or Melbourne? Because Newman's a shithole. Sorry,
Newman.
Newman.
Is a shithole. It's. I don't even want to equate it to Melbourne.
Is it the Milan of?
It's it's sort of the Milan. I think it's probably a good relation. Yeah. It's not the most famous, but it's not the most powerful, but it is quite famous. It is called Shimmereef.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And when you get there, you'll understand why. It's imaginatively named. But it is the local, the most powerful local, the biggest local city of Sea-Elves. But it's not by any stretch the most important one of all of them. It's not their capital or anything like that.
Okay, so Shemanae has like heard of it, but
Yeah.
and she's a little curious, but she's not like, "Oh, we're going to Disneyland" levels of excitement. It's more like, "Oh, it'll be nice to see what this place is like."
Yeah.
Okay.
It's there's a mild curiosity. The Merfolk are, I think the Merfolk think of themselves as the peak of underwater culture and sophistication. The Sea-Elves are a funny bunch because they are elves, and most elves are land dwellers. The Sea-Elves are different to their land folk cousins, but have a lot of similarities. They're not true underwater folk in the same way as the Merfolk. Bless you.
Thank you.
And you head through this kelp forest. So I will ask you, I think, for a perception or survival check, whichever you prefer. And can I get one in chat, please, for Oceanus from somebody? Nextraconis, possibly.
Well, I'm definitely gonna do perception, because that's better than survival, and I intend to survive. That's my third dirty 20. What the hell?
Filthy 20.
Because for those of you who were there last time I was on stream, I was rolling like shit. That's 3 dirty 20s.
Not particularly well.
Okay. I'm gonna follow Beryl's lead.
Yep.
And roll perception as well.
And Shemanae has a +5 in this.
Very nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And we shall see. Do we have one in chat? Lizelle gets a 9. Thank you very much, Lizelle. Plus Oceanus's bits. Oceanus has a +1. Actually, he has a passive perception of... He has +3 to perception. So he is a 12, which is exactly the DC.
A 3, really?
A 3. You're not rolling amazingly. That bodes really well for combat.
Listen.
No, it really does.
See how we go.
Cool.
We need to hook you up with some physical dice.
So, Beryl, interesting that you noticed this, possibly because you're a little on edge. You're in an unusual environment. You notice
my vibe.
Yeah, you notice a smell on the currents. Yeah, on the currents. You can smell blood in the water.
Ooh. I would immediately alert the other two. I'd be like, Shemanae, Oceanus, can y'all smell blood? Because I can smell blood in the water.
Yes, you can.
Are there sharks?
Now that you mention it.
Beryl, you cannot see any sharks with your 20. There might be, but it would be... You'd notice them.
Okay, how worried should we be? Should we just keep going, or...?
Not too worried, I wouldn't say.
Okay.
Things hunt in these kelp forests. Sharks not big enough to worry us.
Okay.
A shark would normally not attack a humanoid. They're not normally only the big ones, and they don't live in the kelp forest.
Just a quick question, because I feel like I would not have brought my dulcimer underwater. I just realized.
Your flute, however.
Yes, I would have my flute, but I don't know if I can play it underwater.
If you can talk, you can play.
Yeah, fair. Like, I might have I think I would have asked for a substitute sword, to be honest. Now I think about it, I probably would have been like, I don't want to bring this underwater. It's a musical instrument.
You could take your sword
I could
out
take
of...
the sword, actually, and leave the dulcimer.
Leave the dulcimer
That would
bit.
probably be the sensible thing. Oh, yeah, Malaika, I have a dulcimer, which is, I don't know if you... It's...
Like a lap guitar.
Yeah, it's like a lap guitar. It's Appalachian. It's very cool, actually. And I keep my sword hidden inside it.
In the neck. Her
just
sword is the neck.
But yeah, I just realized that, bringing it underwater, probably not the best idea. Because
Not great
stringed
for them.
instruments traditionally do not do well submerged.
It's wooden, so probs not, yeah.
Cool.
But you
So
do have a metal flute of rat summoning.
I do have the flute of rat summoning. If I summon the rat, she's gonna drown.
Yeah, ratness would drown, so don't do that. Well, rats swim very well, but she would drown quite quickly.
She would drown.
Yeah.
The helmet's not gonna fit her, so,
So can I ask, now that my now that my 3 roll has allowed me to notice the smell of blood.
Yep.
Do I have to roll again to know whether we can determine whether it's fresh blood or old blood?
Make a survival check instead.
That's a good question, actually. I didn't even think of that.
Why we have other players.
Yes,
Swear to God, you better give me a good roll, you piece of shit.
Oh.
I swear, if it's
And
bad,
this would be completely out of Beryl's
wheelhouse.
Wheelhouse. She would not know. But this is something that Shemanae might know. So yeah, absolutely. And if Shemanae does ask that question out loud, Oceanus could also have a sniff. If somebody in chat wants to roll a survival, ! Survival. For Oceanus. While we wait. 13. It is fresh. In fact, with a 13, I'll even tell you it is... It's red meat. Like, it is.
Technically, humans are white meat.
Well, yes, that has come up on stream before. Recently, it would actually no. In fact, it would qualify as white meat.
Oh, that's not good to know at all.
For that reason. With the 13, you don't get what it is, but yeah, it's definitely the blood of a humanoid.
Shemanae says out loud with some concern. She's trying to remain calm. She's aware that Beryl is slightly freaked out and she doesn't want her to start panicking.
No, don't panic, but it might be humanoid blood.
Oh no, she's like, while it's true that hunting commonly occurs in the kelp forest, I can't help but notice that this is a fresh scent of a new kill, possibly something that may even still be alive.
Yes. Oceanus is still like sniffing the water, and he says, "You have a fine nose, my lady, and I mean that nicely." He just heard it. He heard it and was like, "It's a compliment."
Look, she's got a very nice nose as well. You know, physically, it's a very nice nose. You know, and clearly, it smells well.
She's like, she's kind of like, okay.
How does it? She has a nice nose. How does it smell? Well, it's very well actually. How does it smell? Awful.
Her folks smell like salty, I imagine.
God.
Slightly fishy, but only above the water. Yeah.
Quite.
Do you believe? Let us remain on guard, shall we?
I believe that's best.
Shall we continue?
Yes.
Miss Beryl?
Yeah, I'm happy to keep going. How far are we away from the, other people, maybe with swords?
4 hours or so.
Okay, let's
we could
go.
return if you like.
No, let us forge forward. It may be nothing, and then I'll have panicked for nothing.
I wouldn't want you to waste a good panic. So.
Yes, why waste a good panic?
You want to never waste a good panic. You continue onwards then. In which case, a survival check, please. From both of you.
I don't know.
Or Arcana if it's better.
Well, I just rolled a natural 20
Nat
for
20.
survival, so I might
You're
stick
stealing
with that.
all the good ones, Karen.
I'm stealing all the good rolls. I'm so sorry.
Well, honestly, my Arcana I think is like lower, so I should probably just, if I get another
Stick
bad
with survival.
roll, it's probably better to go with survival.
Yep.
I probably shouldn't curse at it. I should be nice. Yeah, you go, little dice.
We believe in you.
Dice,
Do your
got
thing.
this.
Starting, you're looking for, like, it's probably, you were expecting an up soon, right?
I mean, I hope so.
I don't know. I rolled like both sessions last week. I rolled pretty badly.
Really badly, yeah. It's good. Well, yeah, but this is it. Luck comes around eventually. But a 21 is pretty damn good. A 20 for 2 nat 20s.
Oh yeah! Virtual high fives all around.
Less than 10 minutes later,
Oh,
Beryl, Shemanae notices first, but Beryl almost immediately notices it as well. You are swimming past a rocky outcrop in the kelp forest, and within seconds of each other, you both realize this is the third time you've swum around this rock. In fact, I will say, Shemanae, that you notice that. Beryl, you notice that Oceanus isn't looking as confident as he used to.
Oceanus.
Yes?
I don't want to, make any sort of assumptions about how you're feeling, but you look a little concerned. Is something the matter?
I would go so far as to say that the rock passing us to our left is beginning to look a bit familiar.
Yes. I apologize. I
oh,
don't normally get lost in here.
What? We're lost?
Lost is a strong word. It's just that we've been swimming in a straight line, and Lady Shemanae can confirm this, and Lady Shemanae can confirm that.
Correct.
But it doesn't appear that we have been swimming in a straight line. I thought it was just coincidence. I thought it was odd that the rock looked the same the second time, but that's the third. Yes.
Okay.
I didn't mention it because I wasn't wanting to panic anybody.
Could this be some sort of nefarious magic? Perhaps?
It is possible.
Can
More
I
than
do an arcana
you may.
check?
You may.
Specifically looking for something that might be misdirecting us
You may.
magically?
Yep.
19?
19? Beryl, yeah. It is unusual. You're not used to underwater magic. But yes, something has cast a confusion on this.
So, regardless of whether or not we were the intended targets, we seem to have been caught in a trap of some kind.
Oceanus, you wouldn't happen to know what other kinds of sea creatures usually hang out in this area?
Usually nothing of any threat. Certainly nothing that can cast magic spells.
Right.
If you believe this to be a... Shemanae, can you make a history check, please?
All right.
Because you might know stuff.
I quite possibly.
Maybe. Let's find out.
All right. We're sticking with the praise for it because it worked last time.
Look.
Good dice.
Good dice.
Go. Go, little dice. You do your thing, little dice. I believe
Unfound.
in you.
Yes.
I need to get physical dice. This animation is ridiculous.
There are other digital dice rollers.
Or you can just roll in chat.
Yeah, it's called rolladie.net. It's great.
If you just type in chat ! Roll space as in spacebar, then the number 20, the auto randomizer will just give you that in future.
God
but a 7.
Damn it! Another 2.
A 7.
Going back to cursing it next time.
You fuck this up for me again, mate.
So a 7. What does that? Where am I at?
I'm going to ask Bishop Blood for a history check as well for Oceanus! !History in chat, Bishop Blood. A 7. You know that there are several species of underwater folk who use magic. The Koalinth have been known to.
Okay.
The aquatic goblinoids, and if they were... Oh, shit. If they were around, they might be trying to do that. Oceanus, however, says... The Shahagan have a caste of aquatic spellcasters, priestesses.
Oh, great.
Only the females are permitted to cast magic.
How progressive of them.
Yes. Either answer sound believable. If it's Koalinth, you guys are probably safe, but Oceanus might not be. If it's Shahagan, anybody could be in problems. Blood in the water. And Shahagan.
Remind me who the Shahagan are.
The Shahagan are the ones everyone is fighting.
Okay, there are too many names.
Yeah, and all of them are meaningless. Yeah. Fair. I'm actually going to...
I've gotten it wrong pretty much every time. Okay. So, in terms of what would be most good to do, should we try to communicate, or should we try to get the hell out of here? I'm open to either option, to be honest.
You remember what happened the last time we talked to Shahagan?
Oh yeah, it told us we were all prey and it wanted to eat us. Cool. Right.
And it's at this point that Shemanae, who had the higher survival check, looks up and notices that the kelp forest has actually grown in across on top of you.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh, that's not good.
That's bad. That's very bad.
Does she hear boss music in the distance?
There is no fight music. The music hasn't changed yet. No.
Oh no, poor Shemanae. I'm trying to think. What is there a way for us to do something?
Dome, son.
I don't know.
Oh, I do have dispel magic. Ha 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 ha!
All right then.
I was laboring under the misapprehension that I didn't have dispel magic, but I do. I would like to cast dispel magic, so we can work out which way we need to go.
Right. So Beryl, spell magic works automatically on spells below a certain level. However, to cast dispel magic on a spell above a particular level, you have to. It is the DC is 10 plus the spell's level. So make me a. I believe it is not a. It is a. I forget how exactly it works. You have to make a spellcasting check, but I can't remember if it's Arcana or it is your spellcasting ability modifier.
It's my spellcasting ability.
Right. So yeah, make me a charisma check.
Sorry, shit. While we're waiting on the charisma check, sorry. You said I noticed the thing growing over.
Yes.
Has everyone noticed, or have I just noticed? And
you may well have noticed quietly on your own.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Got a
12 on the dice plus the spell level, so 15.
Is there a language that I and Oceanus speak that Beryl doesn't?
Yes. Aquan.
I don't. What is Beryl doing at the moment, actually? Because you said you.
Beryl is casting a spell. What does it look like, Beryl, when you cast dispel magic with your flute?
With my flute, I imagine it looks like a little pulse through the water that kind of shimmers with different colors.
Okay.
You're not adding your spellcasting. You roll.
Yeah, I
the
just
12.
realized it doesn't work though.
So you would add a +1 because you're using your flute.
Oh yes, so 13 versus 13.
So while she is flouting, I sort of drift towards Oceanus and mutter in our mutual language, look up. And it's for him to see what the hell is going on.
Aquan sounds different to every species that speaks it. It is the language of primordial water. Every species that can breathe water can speak Aquan to a degree. It basically depends on their intelligence. So when Oceanus speaks it, it sounds like the waves crashing. When a Shahagan speaks it, it sounds a lot more. Sounds like thick water, flowing. What would it sound like when a merfolk speaks it, or when Shemanae speaks it?
So waves crashing versus what? What was the other sound?
When the Shahagan speak it, it sounds like water with chunks in it, the water after a shark's feeding frenzy.
Oh my goodness,
that's very specific. Chum. It sounds like chum.
That's the word I was not using, Bishop Blood. Yeah. That is not the word I was looking to use. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
It's kind of now.
I don't know if this this sound has description. It sounds like, what is it? It sounds like the tides pulling out, and is almost like a sound that you can't. It resonates through your skull, and you can feel it in your bones.
Oh, I love it. Excellent. Mercy,
That's very cool.
Malaika, I'm going to give you inspiration for that. So at some point in this session, you can roll with advantage, which is rolling twice and picking the better roll.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like that. That was very, very cool. So she opens her mouth and this sort of boom.
Oh man.
Like, and it sort of rattles, and it's Beryl is focused on doing something else, and it's a very natural noise. It's part of the ocean, which is sort of the point. And so it's relatively easy to do subtly, and he does look up and goes, ah. And yes, there is he says it in Elvish, which you speak. He goes, ah. Yes. That's not the only thing. Look over there. And in the kelp, you can see a school of something swimming. Now, you've been seeing little fish and the occasional, and yeah, the fish down here, obviously, and scuttling fish and all kinds of things, like crustaceans and so forth. But yes, there is the analogy of wolves comes to mind. Sort of, this is a group of something swimming through the kelp, and you can make out just little bits and pieces. Fins, definitely. And tails. These creatures don't look particularly large. You would say no more than a foot long. But it's hard to make out them because they are swimming very rapidly in and amongst the kelp. Beryl, yeah, the spell takes 10 seconds or so. You're a little unfamiliar with casting it underwater, which I imagine is why it fizzles out as you try to cast it, because you needed a 14.
Ah, damn it.
It was cast with a 4th level spell.
Well, gosh darn it.
Yeah. You feel the magic sort of push back at you, as if somebody is actively keeping it up. And it's basically a bit of a force of will situation going on. And Shemanae, having noticed this, I will give you you can do one thing.
Okay.
Seeing these creatures, you are in not a clearing exactly, but the kelp is sparse in this area, of around about 50 feet wide, before it gets denser around the edges, and something is clearly hunting you. Mechanically, you have an action. You can do something to prepare for something that might occur. Oceanus has drawn his trident and is preparing himself for and he has swum over to Beryl's side.
Okay. So I draw my rapier, I guess.
Oh.
And
as you do, the blade glows a soft, it's not blue, it's actually sort of off, it's sort of beige, the color of the moon. It is a moon-touched blade, so it glows in an off-white color, and beige is the closest I can think of, like cream, eggshell, and it glows softly, and it's only then that you notice quite how dark it's gotten down here. And so you sort of readying yourself for whatever is about to occur, I presume. Very well.
Yes.
Beryl, Oceanus swims to your side with his trident drawn and says, "Prepare yourself. We are being hunted."
Oh no. I was really hoping that wasn't the case.
Launching from the depths of the kelp forest, a swarm of tiny creatures no longer than your forearm, Beryl, rush toward you. They look somewhere between a person and a shark. The heads lack much in the way of a neck, and their bodies are long and streamlined, ending in a pointed fin, a la a shark. However, where a shark would have more fins on its sides, these have 2 sets of arms ending in flippered hands. Their blank, shark-like eyes stare at you as they bear down on, and I'm going to ask chat for a roll, exclamation mark, roll space, 3. 1, it'll be Beryl. 2, it will be Shemanae. 3, it will be Oceanus, as these things roll in to attack one of you. Bishop
I was
Blood
kind
rolls...
of right, it's almost sharks.
3 goes for Oceanus. Oh dear. Oceanus, fortunately, has his trident out and prepared. He is ready for this. So, Oceanus will get a reaction attack as these things sweep in at him. They look not unlike Shahagan from the waist up, sort of like a mer Shahagan, if you will, though their heads and necks are pretty much one thing. It's sort of like a tadpole form of the creature you can see up on the...
Oh, are these babies? You gonna make us kill their babies? You monster!
A swarm of them.
What is with the baby killing? They're not eating them. We're
They are gonna
slaughtering
eat.
them.
They are gonna eat you if you
Listen,
don't. is the-
okay, I know. Fuck them kids and all that.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna make you eat them.
Cool beans. Glad I burned a spell slot to achieve absolutely nothing.
What level spell slot did you use?
Dispel magic only works at 3rd level, so it had to be a 3rd level.
Oh, it had to be 3rd level. Yep. You tried and did not succeed, unfortunately. Yeah. Oceanus is going to attack them first because he has a reach weapon. So he is going to roll very poorly.
Excellent, great.
9 to hit probably does not. No, their AC is higher than that. So they are then going to attack Oceanus. In a blood frenzy. Whee! Well, actually, no, they don't get blood frenzy. Which is good for Oceanus. They are going to make a bite attack at him.
Wait.
16. Which is enough. And so he is going to get nibbled a bunch.
Oh, God.
And Beryl, you are standing next to him, so the swarm engulfs the pair of you. But they seem to be attacking him more than you right now. That is a 5, a 2, a 1, and another 2. So not a huge amount of damage. Plus 4. No, just 4d6. Okay, so yeah, Oceanus takes a whole 10 damage. Still quite a bit, because Oceanus only has like 22 hits.
Many of them are there.
He has 30. There is a lot. Probably 20 of them in this.
Okay.
It is mechanically a swarm.
Oh. And they're
But they all operate as one, technically. And they are all around you. They are this swarm of little sharks with 4 arms, swimming, swirling around. And yes, you can attack the swarm and kill several with each swipe, I imagine. But yeah. Oceanus has taken 10 damage, so he's on 20 hit points left. And I think we need to roll for initiative, please. Initiative is Malaika. There is above the very next to acrobatics. If you go next to acrobatics, just across.
Oh, okay.
You'll see
In
the
clump of 6 of them. All right.
Yeah.
Extreme.
Oh no, that's the other side. Initiative is.
Oh no, I hit the wrong thing.
It's still an intelligence save. No, it is still a D20 though, so we'll take the roll and just change the modifier. It's a +3, not a +5.
Bishop Blood, you should know that when you commented "eat babies" is commandment now, my brain immediately went "keep calm and eat babies," which is just not appropriate under any circumstance.
Only rolled a 3 on the dice for Oceanus. Oh dear.
Well, unless it's a modest proposal there, Karen.
Malaika also rolled a 3, so 6 for
Jesus
Shemanae.
Christ.
This is kind of appropriate because they're going first anyway. So Shemanae gets a 6. Oceanus gets a 4. Beryl got a 16. Good. 16 for Beryl, and then I will roll for the swarm and the other thing. A 3, and why am I rolling d6s?
Just theoretically, if I knocked out
an 18.
all these little shits, would a minute be long enough to tie them all up?
No. There are about 20 of them. If you had a net, maybe.
Net.
It's the thing. The thing is, I can't use shape water on them without it affecting.
So they
Beryl
occupy a 10-foot cube.
Okay.
So
that's
10 foot by
outside.
10 foot by 10 foot by 10 foot. Each person is said to occupy a 5-foot space. So you could freeze some of the water that some of them are in without freezing other people. However, it cannot injure, only restrain, I would say.
Okay.
Your shape water can't hurt people. It's not capable of it. It's a cantrip. That's the point.
Okay.
You can do it for free.
Create or destroy water hurt people? I don't think it would work underwater though.
It's interesting. I kind of like the idea. Because it's how mantis shrimp punch the water so quickly they actually create a pressure wave where air pops into existence very quickly and then bursts and the water comes back in, and it's that bursting that actually stuns its prey. And they do it so fast and hard that it actually generates light as well. It's upsetting. Mantis shrimp are terrifying creatures. If you deleted 5 square feet.
Yeah, that was my question. Like, if I deleted the water.
If you deleted 5 square feet of water that some of them are in, it might stun them. Absolutely.
Look, they'd certainly be surprised.
It's a cool idea. I really like that.
No, but 5 square feet is for shape water. For create or destroy water, it says it's 35 feet by 30 feet.
How much water can you destroy? That's create water, right? How much can you destroy?
Create or destroy. How much can I destroy? Let me click. Let me see the thing. No, it just says range area 35 feet. Create water. You can create. Okay, you can create up to 10 gallons of water. Alternatively, water falls as rain within a 30-foot cube. Okay, that's to do with the rain. You can destroy up to 10 gallons of water in an open container within range. Yeah, because the 30-foot cube would be fog. Okay.
Yeah. Silky soft beans. I really like the idea, though. I would make it as, if you're interested, when we get to you in combat, I will make you a proposal about what we can do. However, before we do that, I think we've been going for nearly 2 hours.
It's a damn large ocean container.
It's a very big open container.
Question for the chat, I guess. Is the ocean soup?
It will be soon. These things keep attacking Oceanus. All right, we will go for a quick break first before we have this combat. And we'll be back very shortly, guys. So thank you very much for joining us. Dread, thank you so much for your raid. You're lovely people. Thanks for sticking around. We will go and be back very shortly. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Vast ahoy and g'day, mateys. We be back for more Mano a Mano, or Mano or Duo this evening with our special guest, Malaika Moon. So, Silky Soft Beans, thank you very much for joining us. And Tony, you bloody champion, thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah, he's the one that needs it.
You can, I do. You can people, our viewers, can buy. Hey, Phoenixy Wacky can use your channel points to purchase inspiration for my lovely players as well. DM inspirations do stack, player inspirations don't. So yeah, you guys need to use them if you got them. But fun story. Whilst this swarm of little gnomes have had a bite at Oceanus, they are now going to have a bite at Beryl. Because they both them and the other thing got an 18 and a 19 on the initiative. So they are going very much first.
Rude is what I've got to say about that.
Beryl,
That is excessive.
however, they rolled exceptionally low to attack you. They basically start nibbling at you. And Beryl, how would you deal with that?
How would I deal with them nibbling me?
Yeah, so you're being swarmed, and just chomped. There's like one grabs hold of the skin of your bicep on your left arm, and you get a good look at them for the first time, and you can see this looks like a young form of a Shahagan.
Sweet.
And the look in its eyes is already, I'm having you.
Like, an unkind part of Beryl's brain is going like, well, if these are their kids, I would... Ooh, let's start off soft. Let's not go too hard, too fast. Let's get the measure of these little guys. I would like to cast Sleep at 2nd level. And it's within 20 feet of a point, so far enough away that I'm not going to get hit with it, but it will kind of get the ones that are kind of on me.
Okay.
Cool.
So, yeah, Oceanus is also within the swarm.
So I would hit him too?
You would, and it targets the weakest creature first.
Which
The one
won't
with the
be
least-
Oceanus.
The least hit point. They are mechanically a swarm.
Ah, so it would target him first.
Also, there are other reasons. Yeah.
Is there a way to angle it so I don't get Oceanus?
Yeah, you managed to get about half of a minute.
Look, I'll take half a swarm.
Yeah. However, it is not your turn yet. Because
well, I'll
I was
just try
just
and,
asking how
smack
you
him
avoid
away.
being hit. All right, okay. So sort of writhe in the water, and there's a bit
Very
of a
undignified.
flourish. Okay, yeah. No.
Ah! Stop biting me, you little bastards!
And Beryl, as you flail, you look up and see.
There's a big one right above us, isn't there?
Hearing a snarling hiss, you look up. Above you circles a Shahagan. Though built a little more lightly than the last one you met. It is wearing a dress of woven seagrasses, has a large backpack made of coral, and a small wand, verdigris-riddled copper, in one hand, which it swishes through the water.
No. Also, do I finally hear the boss music now?
There is now boss music, definitely.
Yes and no.
And
Y'all
this
smell a boss fight. Nobody panic.
this creature is going to cast. It's going to do one thing, which you don't know what it is. It just hisses something and whisks its wand at the swarm. And the swarm seems a little bit more enlivened than it was before. She is swimming, circling about 20 feet above you guys. And the swarm starts thrashing even more vigorously, basically. And then she directs a second spell at Shemanae.
Oh, great.
Shemanae, appearing next to you, sort of, it writhes out of a shadowy water. A sort of a cloud in the water appears next to you and coalesces into the form of a really spiky-looking trident. It's got way more spikes than it needs. It's got the 3 main prongs of a trident, but each one's got barbs and nasty hooks on it. And it just floats next to you, and then it stabs down at you. as she makes a spell attack at you. An 8, ooh, plus it's plus 5. 13 to hit is not enough. Not enough to beat your armor class, I don't think. So Shemanae, yeah, your AC, your armor class, would be next to your initiative. I believe it is 15. Yes, she has just cast Spiritual Weapon on you. And yeah, very rude. And it attacks you. And it is now Beryl's turn.
Okay.
This
Look,
is
having
clearly
spotted
a
Big
female
Mama,
Shahagan. Yes.
I'm gonna call her Big Mama.
Yeah.
I feel like she should be the target of my wrath.
She's the one directing all the little gremlins.
She's the boss lady. The little
Probably
guys
their mum. Yeah.
might bugger off. So.
Or at least be disorganized.
Yes.
Right. I am going to cast Shatter on her.
Ooh. Beryl.
The 10-foot radius centered on the point. She needs to make a Constitution saving throw. She will take 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful save.
He failed.
Yes.
3 on the dice. And Silky Soft Beans, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey. And
welcome
such. There's
to
always
the
a
crew.
bigger Shahagan. Yes, Phoenix, exactly. Smash him.
Where's it?
Oh, sashimi. Not yet. We're deliberately not eating the babies.
Yes, we're not eating any babies. Cool.
Hell, no one's even hurt the babies yet.
Cool. So she's going to take 3d8 thunder damage. I just realized I tapped the wrong mouse. Sorry.
Karen is running off 2 different computers.
Okay, she is going to take 16 points of damage.
Ooh. Ooh.
And it's as if she's been hit by a discordant blow from my flute. As if I've blown it, but I did it badly and it kind of screeches.
Oh, I like it. Yes, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, you do that. And she covers her ears. The image of the trident flickers for a moment, Malaika, before re-solidifying. It doesn't look like you could hurt it, I suppose is the point. Beryl, do you do anything else? You are still within the swarm.
So that hasn't really done much.
You've hurt her. You've definitely
didn't like
hurt
it.
her. She didn't enjoy that at all. She she hisses at you, and you have her attention.
Cool.
Not necessarily ideal. You have the
like
attention
the
of
charm
an enemy
person, isn't it?
spellcaster. Yeah.
I don't think charm person would have worked anyway. She was already pretty actively hostile to him.
She would have advantage on the roll to resist it, yeah.
Right.
As we established with Brendan.
Now I can't cast another spell, can I?
No. You can cast a cantrip, but not a spell.
Okay, well, sod it. Let's do vicious mockery.
No, is it a bonus action?
No, it's an action. Do apologize.
She can cast, she cast 2 because she cast a bonus action and an action. One was a cantrip, one was a spell.
Oh shoot! I can give bardic inspiration. I would like to give Shemanae bardic inspiration.
Lovely. So Shemanae,
you get a D8.
Ooh, is it my turn?
it is your turn, but so you have a butt ton of inspiration. I have given you inspiration as the DM, so you can have advantage on a roll. But Beryl has the ability to give you inspiration as well, to bardically inspire you. So whenever you roll a dice, and it can be for damage, I believe.
I think it's for anything.
You can add
ability
D8.
check, attack roll, or saving throw.
Oh, so not damage, but
And you can
to
add it
attack
after
if you
you've
roll
seen the
really
roll.
low.
But before you've seen the outcome.
Yeah.
So if you
So
roll
you
a
can-
7, you can be like, I'm using it.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you do?
Okay.
Got your rapier out.
I've got my rapier out, and using the cantrip doesn't, like, I can use that as much as I like, you said.
Yes. It is,
also-
however, an action to use the cantrip. So in combat, and so it is worthy to note, everybody, that Malaika has never played D&D before.
What?
This is
I am making this up as I go along.
Malaika's first time, and I would argue probably wasn't really notable until just now when I outed her as a brand newbie.
How rude.
Yeah. So combat works like this. You have a movement speed of, I believe, 30 feet. So you can move 30 feet in any direction. It is all just theater of the mind, so I'm not a particular stickler for that. You can make an attack action. You can attack. You can make an action, attacking, casting a spell. Most spells are actions, or using an object. All of those would be actions. There is, however, a few things that are considered bonus actions, and you can do an action and a bonus action every turn. You can also do a reaction outside of your turn, but there are very limited things that you can do. You have the ability to uncannily dodge stuff if you get attacked. So you can attack, and then you either use a bonus action to make another attack, is something you can do, or remember, if you have anything else, you can use your action. You can use a bonus action to help. Which gives somebody else advantage to attack.
Yeah, because in my mind's eye,
I feel like you're only about 10 feet away from the
yeah,
other two.
because she's outside the swarm.
Yeah.
I think she's flanking them.
Sure.
She's got this big old ugly trident next to her that's just hovering. After it failed to, I don't know,
Stab her.
properly. And then there's
Stab her.
After it let everybody down.
all bark and no bite. And then Big Mama is hovering above them, but her attention is primarily on Beryl at the moment because of her spell work.
Exactly.
Okay, because I was trying to work out how create or destroy water.
Oh, yeah. So, I had an
used.
offer for you. If you wanted to use your one casting a day of Create or Destroy Water to destroy a bunch of water around the swarm, or the mama, I would allow you to destroy 10 gallons of water instantly, causing it to implode, stunning or injuring. I would give you a slightly reduced form of Shatter, essentially. I would give you 2d8 thunder damage.
Yeah. I don't know. Should I focus the attack on Big Mama? Because if I do it on the swarm, when it affects Beryl and Oceanus...
The swarm is larger than Beryl and Oceanus. You can target a bit of the swarm that they aren't in.
Okay. Because they're like in a frenzy at the moment, right?
Yes, it's very much sharks when the blood is in the water, and there is blood in the water now because Oceanus is bleeding.
Oh, Okay, I think. I hope I don't regret this. I think we're gonna double down on attacking the source, and I'll use my one a day to destroy the water around Big Mama.
Very well. In the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can see a little dice symbol on the D&D Beyond. If you click on that, it'll show you a bunch of different kinds of dice. And one of them will be a D8. Click the D8 twice, and that's the number of damage you will do.
Okay, click it twice.
Might say roll after that.
Yeah.
Shatter damage, a 3, a 7, and a 6 was pretty good, Beryl. Let us see what more...
I would have preferred it if she disappeared in a puff of bubbles, but... Can't have everything.
I don't know what's happening. I can't see it. Where does it pop up? Is it gonna tell me?
It should roll me. It should roll a pair of d8s.
Do I need to hit the roll?
You might need to hit roll.
You might need to.
Okay.
There you go. There
Alright.
it is. Okay.
There we go. All right.
And while we're
Yeah,
waiting,
I
what
need
does it look like when you cast this spell?
Sound is muffled underwater, isn't it?
But it travels very far.
It does.
Not bad. 10 is pretty good.
What happened? Oh, okay. It's
10
10.
damage.
10 damage. Okay.
Not bad. Where do you target on her? She is about 10 feet long and quite a statuesque figure. She's got 4 arms, 2 legs, all swimming, and a tail. And she is swimming, using the tail to propel her. If you've seen Alien Resurrection, the way the aliens swim using their tails, even though they've got legs and arms, that sort of thing, crocodilian-esque. She is circling around above you, just raining magic down on the pair of you.
So the tail is for balance and helps her steer. Should I focus on the tail to destabilize her?
I suppose that's where the impact would be most immediate, is if suddenly there's no freaking water around.
Okay. Let's do that. We focus on the tail, and visually it looks as if all of a sudden there is a strange, almost glass-looking bubble appears around her tail, and then there is like a deep seismic sounding boom that happens.
Yes.
And all of a sudden there's like a rush of bubbles and recoiling, like all of it concentrating on her tail, and the boom goes down all the way from the top of where she is all the way down to where we are beneath her. But also it's likely that like bubbles would be traveling upward after escaping that, like because it creates a vacuum essentially that just zips in on itself, creating a deep resonant boom that hopefully hasn't attracted the attention of anything else nearby.
The bigger Shahagan. Yeah, you do that. And it, I would say this vacuum of air, or this non-air, it doesn't fill with air. It fills with more water, but with a great force. Blows a chunk of flesh off her tail. And she roars in pain. There is a deep sort of guttural roar comes out of her throat. Do you do anything else with your turn? That's your action. Would you like to bonus action help somebody?
How can I help people?
You basically, the help action is you give advantage to one of your allies the next time they do something. And you say, I do that, and describe how you would help them. It can be words of encouragement, it can be pointing out something potentially problematic, it could be going over and stabbing somebody in the back. All of those.
I used when I had a character with this ability, and she used to insult people.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like, you screw this up, I'll tell on you to your mother.
Yes, she was very rude.
I was very rude.
Okay, I'll use it to help. I don't know what.
Help Oceanus or Beryl?
Is that Oceanus? How is he looking at the moment? Actually,
He's a bit chummed up, but he's not dead. He has 30 hit points and he is down to 20.
Okay, and
I'm unharmed currently.
okay. Let's help Oceanus then.
Okay. Oceanus gets the help action, which is good because Oceanus' turn is now. Oceanus is going to attack the swarm. He doesn't give a damn. And now he has advantage. So what does your help look like? How do you help him? In what manner do you help him? What do you say or do? Oh, it's good. Oceanus got an 18.
Oh.
So he's going to, and he's two-handing this as well. So he is going to, he got a 22 all up, and he is going to roll a d8 for damage. 7 on the dice. Plus 2, 9 points of damage against the swarm, because he is not happy with being eaten.
Okay. So, by helping old mate. I know that's not his name. I forgot. Shut up.
Oceanus.
By helping Oceanus, because I'm at his flank, I verbally warn him whenever any of the swarm try to attack him from behind.
Cool. Like this one behind you, Oceanus. Ah, stab. Yeah. And your help did help as well, actually, because he'd have missed if he'd gotten the other dice. So cool. And we go back to the top of the order, because that's basically all he can do. He's very basic. So the swarm is gonna. So the swarm has an ability called Blood Frenzy, which gives it advantage whenever it's attacking something that doesn't have all of its hit points. So if somebody is injured, it's better at attacking it. So it is going to nom on Oceanus, and it hit.
Rude. Very rude.
So let's roll them bones again. Oh, that's a bit better. Oh dear. 16, 18 points of damage on Oceanus. He is not looking good. He has 2 hit points left. As these things, he stabs a couple of them. He manages to skewer 2 of them on his trident and sort of, stay back! And they don't. They very much just accelerate and start just, he is engulfed. The swarm almost contracts around him and he is engulfed in these things. Beryl, you are here to be being ignored by them, but not their mother, who is going to rain
In fairness,
down.
I did try to blast her into a different dimension, so...
Yeah.
Chopped the chunk off her tail.
This angry lady is going to cast Guiding Bolt on you, Beryl.
Well, why would she do something so horrible to such a lovely person?
A filthy 20.
Ah, well, yeah, that's gonna hit, you know.
Yeah, it is. A filthy 20, and Guiding Bolt, as I recall, is 46? Let's check that. Guiding Bolt is... How are you? 46 radiant damage. Yep. 46 radiant damage.
Are you trying to kill me?
Yeah, I always try to kill you. That's 3 5s and a 1. 16 points of damage, Beryl. And the next thing to attack you gets advantage, which it would anyway, because the next thing to attack you would probably be the babies, and they would have advantage anyway because you bleeding.
Yeah, I'm definitely bleeding now. If I wasn't bleeding before, I'm bleeding now.
And Mummy is then going to direct her spiritual weapon to stab Shemanae in the back.
Crying out loud, really?
Cowardly cow.
That's a 22 all up. It's not nearly as good as the Guiding Bolt, unfortunately. Spiritual weapon does 1d6, 1d8. But still, you know, I'll take any help I can get. 1d8 damage. 4. You take 4 points of damage there, Shemanae.
No!
So your hit points are up in the top corner, and you can decrease them by 4 temporarily. You'll heal up whenever you take a long rest, but right now, shit's getting real. It's Beryl!
Okay.
And Shemanae is next. Do what you're gonna do.
Okay.
Okay.
You're all hurt and bleeding.
I think the time for niceties is over. So let's take this up a notch.
Okay.
Oh dear.
It's going to cast Shatter again, but this time it is going to be at 3rd level.
Oh, wow. Big money, no whammies. Against?
Yes. Big Mama.
Big Mama.
Big
Karen,
Mama is...
Roll them bones. It's
So this is
5,
4d8.
4d8.
She has to make a Constitution saving throw over 15.
Nope.
Yes.
Not
Come on,
very
big
good,
numbers,
Con.
big numbers, big numbers.
You
big
have to roll
50!
very poorly. Boom. 15 is enough. Beryl, what does this look like as you finish her?
Yes. Cool. Yeah, it's like a multicolored ripple of energy, and again, it sounds like a badly hit note that really stings the ears. It's like a ripple, sound wave through the water.
And
It ripples of different colors.
And boom! And suddenly she is... I don't think it does any physical damage, but it ends her. It's the pressure, sort of does a lot of... if it's physical, it's internal. And
I just liquefied her
the pressure,
inside.
she starts bleeding from the mouth and nose a bit as the body slowly starts to drift down. Beryl, do you do anything else?
Shemanae's next. Can I tell the little ones to piss off?
You may try.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, get out here, all y'all, you're joining your mama. Beryl doesn't
Consider
like
them
killing
threatened.
babies, even if they're bitey babies.
Fair. Would you like to attempt to actually intimidate them?
Yes. I have no bonuses for intimidation, but I'm gonna try. So that is a 4 for
You are still
intimidation.
charisma good, though.
Intimidation. Oh shit! Wrong character sheet. I do apologize.
What were you rolling on? Beryl?
I rolled on Kesha's sheet.
Oh, you're
I have
rolling
Kesha's
Kesh.
sheet opened
Yeah.
as well.
I wondered why I didn't see it.
Yeah. Rolled the wrong campaign. Whoops, guys. I got too many tabs open over here. Where was it? Intimidation. Yes.
She never closes her tabs.
I never close my tabs. That
I
is a
never do either.
23
Oh,
intimidation.
to intimidate these little creatures. Let me see. They react on their turn. However, before they can, it is Shemanae's turn, and then it's Oceanus.
Hey. Okay. Shape water. It says I can change the flow of water. How precise is that?
Again, it cannot injure things, but reasonably, you can. I would say you'd be quite precise. It is very. They are. It's compacted a bit around Oceanus, but mechanically, it's still occupying a fair amount of space, more than him.
So if I wanted to effectively create kind of like a whirlpool as a shield around him, could I do that?
Not with shape water.
No, damn it. Okay.
You could attack them. They are.
That was going to be my next option. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh."
You could just stab them with your rapier.
Yeah, this is an option.
Okay, so I swim forward from however far back I was from them.
Oh, by the way, that trident that was attacking you blinks out.
Oh, I figured when she died. Yeah. Okay. And
Just
I
a
was like,
mist
"Fuck you,
of
trident."
like ink dispersing in water. It just
Do one of these in its general direction for stabbing me in the back, and then so I swim forward with my tail, and
flourish your rapier into the swarm.
sure.
This would get you the sneak attack because they are attacking him, so he's within 5 feet of the swarm, so you
Okay.
definitely get the sneak.
So
but you got to hit him first.
Okay, so do I roll with?
So roll on your sheet. You've got your you should have the hit DC next to your rapier.
Mm-hmm.
So roll the single digit number. I believe it's a +6.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta fucking work. Honestly, I don't know whether praise or cursing works. Either way.
Oh yeah.
Go, Dicey, go. Go, Dicey, go.
You can do it.
Hey.
Which one is it? I don't know, because it's still...
21 is definitely a hit. Is definitely a hit. So, it is 1d8, and then if you scroll down a bunch, it'll also have your sneak attack, which is 3d6s. So yeah, click that sneak attack damage and also your moon touched rapier damage as well, and we will add the two together. Shemanae flourishes her blade into the swarm, slash, cutting up loads of these angry little bitey babies.
If we started at 20, do we know how many we're at now?
It was a
How many
rough guess.
babies have we killed?
We've killed 2 so far. Most of the attacks have been on Mummy.
Okay.
But you're probably about to kill a bunch more. 10 for the snake, so that's not bad actually. It's pretty good. That's the exact average on 3d6, and yeah, roll that d8 as well.
The
One that's next to your moon-touched blade. Say 1d8 plus 4, 3.
Oh, okay. Piercing,
That's
damn
the
it.
one.
Excellent.
These things are resistant to non-magical attacks.
It tells us this now.
Well, I don't need to tell you at all. So
No,
further
you
7,
don't.
17. Pretty good.
Okay.
That hurts them a lot. You managed to skewer effectively 5 or 6 little boys. Or girls. Hard to tell. Oh, good. The stream
Shouldn't
dropped out.
assume their genders.
So yeah, the stream just dropped out, and I apologize, everybody. Yeah, we blipped, but we're back. I have an unstable internet connection. It's something. Yeah, my internet connection takes after me. Everything's fine. Yeah. Thanks for
Are we
sticking
playing
around.
an ad right now?
We were just very briefly. I wasn't deliberate. When the stream starts back up, it plays an ad.
It plays an ad.
Yeah.
Ah, makes sense. Okay.
You mean you're not subscribed?
My players have no obligation.
There's no way to give away free
this morning.
subscription.
What are you talking about?
Oceanus is it is now yeah, that's a lot of damage. Yeah,
He's
you
in a
managed
bit
to
of a state.
yeah, he is in a quite a lot of a state. He has 1/15 of his hit points remaining. It's not great. He is bleeding very, very badly. It is very clear that a single more round in combat and he will be eaten by these things, and they seem pretty fixated on him. They do not appear in any way to have noticed their mother's demise.
Oh, okay.
Or Beryl's
Well-
intimidating instruction to bugger off.
Well, that's annoying. I was
Um,
hoping not to have to kill a swarm of babies.
Oceanus is actually going to disengage.
Okay.
Ooh.
For his action, I think, and swim away.
And really.
He will shout out, "I'm sorry, I don't think I can stay there much longer. Beryl, perhaps another shatter might make them leave."
I'm happy to
He
take
would
that
say
advice.
another loud boom. He doesn't know magic. And he is swimming away, just sort of backing away with his trident out, like fending them off. So his action is going to be to disengage rather than attack, and get himself out of the swarm. And we go back around. He is away from the swarm. You guys are near it, however, so the swarm is going to attack Beryl. Because Beryl is the one being the more aggressive to... who am I talking about? Shemanae is the one who just stabbed it a bunch.
Yeah, I just shouted at them.
You're both bleeding, so yeah, it's going to attack Shemanae. Ooh.
Hey.
What's my plus to hit? A +6, so a 17 to hit. I think I beat your AC by like 2. Which means you're gonna get bit.
Oh no! I'm gonna get nibbled on.
Still over half damage. So,
What am I at now?
You take 10 more. Roll 3 2s and a 4. Rubbish.
I'm at 19, I think.
10 more piercing damage as these they are frenzied around you. Yep, Beryl.
Right. I feel like I need to do a little bit of Dragon Ball Z here. I don't have any.
Yes.
I don't have any 3rd level left, so it's going to be 2nd level shatter.
Very well.
On the swarm. So 10-foot radius around as much of the swarm as I can get without hurting anybody else.
Very well.
They need to beat a con save of 15.
Con save of 15. I'm going to use my inspiration gifted to me by Tony for this one.
Thanks, Tony.
16 on the dice. Thanks, Tony. The other was an 8. Their con is a +1, so 17.
Right, half damage.
That's what you want. You don't want to kill them, you want to scare them.
Oh,
right?
20 damage.
Nice,
to the
so
swarm.
half to 10. I'm going to say
10.
that this is diffuse across all of them, so none of them get killed by it.
Yes.
And Beryl, you can make me a 2nd intimidation check, and I'm going to say that, that because I actually forgot to ask, Malaika used the help action again and helped you. So you can do it with advantage to intimidate, which makes sense because she is killing them. So she is helping you by killing these things to intimidate the others.
Well, I got a 17. It was my better
17.
roll.
Let's
To
see.
intimidate the little shits.
I rolled very low. They bug out.
Yay! They flee.
They do. They flee. Yes. The last few, last one sort of lunges towards Oceanus, and he just swipes it away. He doesn't kill it, but he just sort of, like a golfer, just yeet, and it just sort of flings off into the kelp forest. And yeah, there are half a dozen dead Shahagan babies on the sea floor beneath you guys, but most of them were not slain. They all fled instead. So let us have a change in music.
And blues the boss fight music.
Yes. Well done. You guys defeated my Shahagan priestess and her offspring, a hunt pack. She was teaching them.
Well, they've learned a valuable lesson, haven't they?
Yeah, well, yeah, they have.
Hop around and
Oceanus.
find out.
Oceanus is covered in open wounds.
Oh,
Right.
no.
I have a
You know,
healing
like
spell.
you know that like zombie makeup, like the bite mark makeup. He is that all over. All of his exposed flesh, which is most of his flesh, because he doesn't wear a shirt, is just covered in nibble marks. He's got a couple of good chunks torn out of him. He said, "This is gonna leave a scar." He's just floating there, a few feet above the surface, a few feet above the sea floor.
Cool. Well, he's going to get a healing word from Beryl.
Thank you. What do you
Gains
say?
hit points equal to 1d4 plus my spellcaster modifier. So 1d4 plus 4.
What do you say? What is your healing word?
I'm trying to think of something funny now.
Roll the 1d4 plus 4 while you think.
Max healing. 8
Max
points
healing.
of healing.
8. He goes up to 1/3 of his hit points.
Now, they really nibbled your biscuits, didn't they?
That is saying where you're from.
I have no idea. It just came to mind just then.
It's certainly accurate. I have had my biscuits, as you say, nibbled.
Like Beryl's southern, and I'm trying to think of something southern to say, but I've never been there.
It sounds vaguely southern to my
Yeah.
non-southern self. So good job.
Like, I believe that the sheriff in Toy Story 2 goes, "My biscuits are burning." So,
Right.
biscuits are nibbled. Your biscuits are nibbled. I don't know.
There is a snake in my boot. Is that the one you're thinking about? Anyway, yes.
Potentially.
Bishop Blood approves. They're in the US. It counts.
Excellent. Okay.
That's
A
all the
nasty
affirmation I
sunburn.
needed.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tony says, "I love you too, mother of buddies."
Thanks, Tony.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah. Oceanus looks down at the Shahagan and says, "I wouldn't feel bad. You know what they grow up into."
yeah. Except now I can't. Now I can't say that I never killed a
You
chef.
don't have the moral high ground.
I
Well,
don't
they-
have the moral high ground anymore, and
I would
value
argue
it.
you still do because they started it.
Yeah.
And
'cause-
also, at the very least, you haven't eaten any of them yet.
No, and I don't intend to. I
Oh,
do,
all right.
however, intend to loot Mama's body.
Be my guest. I
I
suppose
would
you'd
like
think
to
less of
invest-
me if I ate one of them.
I won't look. If I don't see it, it didn't happen.
You can both look at him if you like for an insight.
He's joking, I assume.
Yeah.
But 8 for insight.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's mine? What's mine? I can't. Ah,
Your insight's crazy high. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Mercy's passive. 14. No, that's investigation. That Malaika's passive insight, which is 18, is enough to know that to spot his he has a wicked grin on.
Yeah.
But
the
Beryl's-
14 was to.
I did
Just-
hit a dice, and I'm not sure it's rolling. I don't know
Yeah.
how to stop that, but
don't worry about it. Yeah. I forget to use passive insight because it doesn't come up very often. 25. There you go.
Yeah.
Shemanae, yeah. Yeah, it's clear. Yeah, he is. It's
Joking.
gallows humor. He's just like, "You wouldn't mind if I do." But he's clearly joking.
It's like, go on, have a nibble. We won't tell anybody.
But Beryl, yeah, you're like, "Oh shit, okay, I maybe that's an underwater thing." You don't pick up on it. You're far too interested in looting the body.
I am looting a body.
Would Shemanae like to assist with the looting of the body? You want to get in on this?
oh, sure, why not?
Because you still got a bardic inspiration you haven't used yet, so you could burn that on this.
Okay.
Um,
Should I use that?
investigation, and probably the last thing you're going to do it on.
Do I roll for investigation?
Roll investigation and then add a d8.
Okay. Oh,
It's going to be huge because you have a +8. So yeah, Shemanae is a mastermind rogue, which have expertise in they get 3 expertises and proficiency in so many things. They are crazy for skill monkeys. Which is why I thought it would be a good thing for a first-person's player character. And then go to the bunch of
Side
dice in the
die,
bottom corner.
and then
A 20.
well,
a
20. Now the die starts being nice to me. I shouldn't
Yeah.
speak too soon, actually, because I still got to roll with
20's pretty
the-
good. So, Beryl, you find, the first thing you find is around her neck, she is wearing a golden medallion
Ooh.
made in the shape of a tentacle. And in fact, it is it's like a solid circlet of gold. And the whole thing is is a tentacle. And it joins around itself in a sort of a hook, like 2 hooks, and the end is it's 2 ends of a tentacle. 22 is pretty good. Then Shemanae comes up and initially you pick up the wand. With a 22, Shemanae, you determine that the wand has a bound casting of a spell in it. It is a wand that, if you attune to it, you gain the ability to cast. Hang on. Yeah, you gain the ability to cast Guiding Bolt. Once, well, it is 4 times a day. It's been used once, and yeah, it has a 4 bound castings of Guiding Bolt in it. And I will add that to your sheet later if you like.
Yes, very cool.
Handy thing, because Guiding Bolt is a really good spell. And yeah, that's how she did that to you guys, or Beryl. The other thing you locate upon her person while searching it is in her backpack, which is made of. It looks like, you know, a brain coral.
Oh,
You seen one of those? Yeah. It looks like someone's hollowed one of them out. And inside of it is several pieces of Koalinth.
Oh.
Several small pieces.
Oh. Well.
As in, several pieces of small Koalinth.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
We're not done with the dead babies. Good to know. So I suppose I look at Beryl.
Beryl, you would see, like, Shemanae removes one of these and goes, "Oh."
And then I was like, well, what was I gonna say? How would I put it? Is it possible that this would suffice as proof?
Oceanus swims back over and says, "It would, if anything would. It does look a little old. This could have been from that incident."
I can't help but think that it would probably be a bad idea to take like dead baby parts to like the village of the elves.
It would be difficult to explain, yeah.
It's probably not the best idea to be like, hey, here's this backpack that we totally took from a Shahagan. Like, don't worry, it's not from the Sea Elves, even though it's here just when we came from the Sea Elves. It's from other people.
Yeah.
But also, they're baby parts, so clearly they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Here's some bits of child. I'm so sorry. What do we even do with it? Do we just pretend we didn't see it? Leave it? Be like, no. Look, I feel
Oceanus would say, "Shemanae, this is important. This is proof. This exonerates my people.
Ah, fuck.
We can't leave it here. And in fact, if one of us were to take it back right now, we haven't had time to get to Shimmereef and return. We've only, by the time we get back, if you or I took this back, or Beryl, only 4 hours would have elapsed. That's not even enough time to get to Shimmereef, let alone pick up a bunch of Koalinth body parts and bring them back and say, hey, look, we found them. It was the Shahagan. You know,
of course. And
how exactly are we gonna explain how we got him?
Take the dead Shahagan with us. We're underwater. It's not as heavy.
And Shemanae also has a wand. Okay, so she sighs and basically turns to Oceanus and says, even if I did take the dead Shahagan, even if I were to return with a dead Shahagan as proof, it still seems best that you would not be present when I present the Koalinth with
a dead Koalinth child. Yes.
Exactly.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Shemanae, may I ask you take this evidence back while Beryl and I proceed?
It seems to be the only course of action that makes sense.
Well, you better wear the medallion that gives you like blasting powers, just in case.
The medallion is not magical. It's just worth 20 gold pieces. But it's probably...
What was that about guarding bolt then?
No, that's the wand.
Oh, I mean the wand then. I do apologize. Yeah. I got confused.
Yeah.
Sorry. So the wand has the ability to cast guarding bolt 4 times a day, and the medallion's just pretty.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
much baby parts.
It's Beryl. You can make me a religion check about the medallion if you like. Shemanae can do it too with advantage.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the religion check? Let's do that.
With advantage.
15 on the religion check.
Not bad.
My dice is still thinking.
Yeah.
It's still dancing across the screen.
What was I going to say? Yeah. Beryl, it's probably a fair bet that this is some sort of religious iconography. But you don't know enough about aquatic races. A 16. Okay. Yeah. Shemanae, that they worship a kraken.
Oh. That seems foolish.
Yeah.
One way of putting it.
You're not wrong. But
I mean, do you, but also very stupid.
Oh, it will.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Bolly! DM needs some inspiration. Bolly gave me inspiration! Splendid. Soapstone, anyone? Wand of Wonders? Please, Josh? Oh, no. They worship a kraken? That seems fishy. Nice, Bolly.
So I got my wand, I got the medallion, I got the backpack with the dead child and the mama body. And
you could, if you left the backpack on the mama body, you could use shape water to just sort of conveyor belt her back.
Ooh, that's clever. Yes. Okay, I do that.
You alter the flow of water and waft her gently along with you.
And I, before I leave though, I turn to both of them and say, the best of luck on your journey. There is a lot still that is at stake. So,
may you swim swiftly and safely.
Same to you, Beryl. Same to you. And she leaves with her cargo of dead
Oceanus
stuff.
bows to you and says, "This day you do my people a great service, Shemanae of the Merfolk." And then he repeats the may you swim safely and swiftly.
Okay. Was I meant to say that? I don't know.
No, he just liked it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. Before she takes off, though, she does return Oceanus's bow and then turns around and leaves with her horrifying cargo.
It is horrifying.
It is horrifying.
It's just she's like, listen, I better talk fast when I get there.
The lizard folk won't think too much of it. The lizard folk would be like, lizard folk do eat things.
Yeah.
And it's their home. The Koalinth, there'll be a few there, but they won't be the ones on guard. Like, oh god, what happened to you? Oh yeah, look, there was a thing. There was a bunch of little things and a big thing. Anyway, yeah. Getting where you were going after that is not difficult. Oceanus leads the way with renewed confidence. Although he is a little bit slower. After a couple more hours of easy swim, the forest recedes, and ahead of you, Beryl, you can make out the glimmer across the ocean floor as it rises into a sizable submerged hill. Nearer to, you can make out odd, irregular shapes making up the bulk of this rise. Broad fans and waving sails mix with figures and uncountable fish swimming around. The sun's rays, so dim in the stands of kelp, are once again felt here, diffuse as it caresses the coral, which glows pink and gold. Welcome, my friend, Shimmereef, says Oceanus, and I think we'll leave it there. That was nice. And great job, Malaika.
Hey, I did it.
Well done. That was fun.
Introduced and written out in a single session. Woo! It actually was not my intent. I'll be honest as well. When somebody points out, we probably shouldn't go to the Sea-Elf town with this dead body, or these bits of Koalinth, I was like, well, that's a valid point, actually. I hadn't considered that. And I was like, oh, that's neat. That kind of writes Shemanae out. That's cool. This was a one-off, so that works really well. Yeah. Cool. I mean, Shemanae can always return at a later date.
You can do. Who knows?
Who indeed? Who knows? Well, guys, that was super fun. Thank you very much, Tony. Yeah, I thought it was. So, now we're going to do what we like to do at the end of our stream. Have a little bit of a chill and a relax, and talk about our favorite moments. And chat, we would love to hear your opinion on this subject as well. Any favorite moments you have? It was another episode of Myriad Misadventures of Beryl Ingots Fury. That it was, Bishop Blood. So I think it's only fair to start with Karen, because we don't want to drop Malaika too far in the deep end after all the deep end that she's been in this time. So yeah, let's talk about Karen's favorite moments. Favorite Beryl moments.
I quite enjoyed Never Waste a Good Panic.
Yes.
I think as catchphrases go.
Beryl Ingots Fury. Never waste a good panic. Yep. Excellent. My favorite Beryl moment. I quite like that send-off, actually. May you swim safely and swiftly. I thought that was quite sweet.
Thank you.
I also, like, my favorite Karen moment was realizing that she'd been speaking as Cash for nearly 5 minutes.
Whoops!
That was funny. Yeah. Malaika, what do you reckon? Favorite Karen moment?
I'm torn between the tale of the horrifying licorice liquor and that they really nibbled your biscuit.
Yes. It really nibbled your biscuits.
I love it. It's so great.
Yeah. Excellent. Splendid. Well, that's favorite Karen. So we talk favorite...
Quickly on that note, though, I may have ordered a sample bottle of salty licorice liqueur.
No!
That is now theoretically winging its way through the postal service to me.
And Karen and I will try it live.
We will try it on stream for you guys.
You two enjoy that.
Yep.
Given how they pitched it, I have a feeling that we'll need something to wash it down with, but you know, it'll be an experience.
We call that a mail prank. Bishop Blood says, "I love how Beryl is just coming up with her own southern one-liners, and that they aren't just popular sayings from where she's from." Yeah. That's a very common saying in Elf time. Nibble your biscuits.
Yeah. They really nibbled your biscuits.
Yeah. You know what really nibbles my biscuits? It's very much the equivalent of grinds my gears.
Versatile.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, let's talk favorite Malaika moments. I love getting a new player in, because you get to see how somebody who isn't sort of mired in this is what this does, thinks outside the box. Like, I gave you 2 magic spells, and you're like, I'm gonna use both of these at least once. Absolutely. And that create or dispel water was a very, very cool idea. Like, you were like, hey, could I do this? And I'm like, that would have an effect underwater. That would be kind of neat. And I was like, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna make you this offer, because it's not the way the spell works mechanically. But I'm like, that's cool. And rule of cool is very much an important thing in D&D, and I thought that was very cool. I was just like, that's neat. I like that. That's clever. I'm going to reward. I can't remember what you said when I gave you inspiration, but I can't remember what prompted that, but I liked it. I will watch the vid. I will watch the VOD back.
Was that how the language sounded?
Yes, the boom.
Yes, description of the language.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Because I can't remember exactly.
You spoke primordial Aquan, and it just a boom. The boom of a receding tide. I'm like, oh hell yes, very very nice. Karen, what do you reckon?
I enjoyed when you noticed that the kelp forest had kind of locked together above us, and you didn't say aloud to everybody, "Hey, this has happened." You quietly went to Oceanus. Hey, the roof's closed.
Don't freak out, Beryl.
Don't make the land dweller panic.
The air breather cannot get to air to breathe now, but don't mention that.
The way out is blocked, but don't stress.
Yeah. You could have gotten through it, but it was a lot of damage. It was essentially plant growth, so yeah, you would have gotten entangled and possibly drowned in it. Feel it in your bones, Bishop Blood, yeah. All right, Malaika, favorite self moment?
Oh, I don't even know if I have one. I'm gonna be really naff and corny right now, and say this whole thing because it was a lot of fun, and I've never played D&D before. I've always been curious, but I've never had the chance to actually do it. So even though I was like very stressed out at the beginning and trying to get my bearings, like eventually as the game went on and I got into it, it's been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it, and I hope I get to do it again soon.
Yeah. Well, we have a Christmas campaign coming up in December. We are going to be playing Candlekeep Mysteries, which is this book. And there are several adventures in it. It's a series of short adventures. And we're going to be playing 4 of them over 12 days in the run-up to Christmas. We're having 12 days of Candlekeep. And you would be very welcome to join us for some of those if you fancy it. We don't the whole idea is to have a rotating cast. So no one does more than sort of 5 or 6 episodes. And that's probably going to be me.
The only one will probably be Josh.
Yeah, I'll probably be there most of the time.
I'm not doing it.
No, I don't intend to be there all the time. I do intend to hand the streaming computer over to Karen a couple of times so I can have a break. Ella Ezra, thank you very much for the follow as well, you bloody champion. Good on you, matey.
And we have another Malaika favourite moment from Bishop's Blood.
Yes.
Being nice/mean to the dice.
Yes, that was funny. You're very welcome, Ella Ezra. Thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the stream. So, yeah, and then, well, marvellous. So, I think we should go away from here, because we've been a good long while now. I am doing exceptionally well. I've had a lovely evening playing D&D with my lovely wife and a dear friend. Yeah, cool. And I got to expose somebody else to my favourite thing to do, other than, well, with clothes on. You can play D&D in the nude, I'm not joking. In fact, a reasonably confident Terrace does.
So the rental we're living in has had a pool, and it has like a sort of spa thing on the end that doesn't work 100%. If you turn the filter pump to 2 of the jets, you get a semi-spa experience in this.
But it's not hot.
It's not hot. It's not very fancy. And we were joking that we could now do hot tub streams.
From
our shitty, barely functional spa end of the pool.
Phoenixy Wacky says, great job, Malaika.
Thank you. That's so kind. Thank you.
Phoenixy Wacky plays more D&D than anyone else I know. John runs 5 or 6 campaigns a week. Like he plays once a day usually. It's ridiculous. I don't know where he finds the time. Ella Ezra, we stream pretty regularly, 2 or 3 days a week normally, but in the run up to Christmas, it's gonna be like 5. Candlekeep Mysteries will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday of the 3 weeks leading up to Christmas. I run a Humblewood campaign on Thursday nights. With Karen will be in that one, is in that one at the moment, and that is a long-running thing. That is 87 episodes at current count. 29 player characters, 19 players have been involved in it at various points, but a crew of 4 on the regular. And it is a broad and expansive world. We do Mano a Mano on Monday nights, which is normally just me and Karen. But tonight we had Malaika as well, which is really cool. This is our first guest appearance in this show as well. This is the 18th Mano a Mano. So we've actually been going for quite a while. And it's basically, we do it whenever we can. We will be having another episode next Monday. And on Tuesday nights, I do world building and home brewing, making up new stuff. Tomorrow, I am going to try and build the rainbow snake from Australian Indigenous folklore.
Ooh.
As a D&D monster / maybe not a monster. A D&D creature. I'll create a creature stat
I
block
like
for
that,
it.
because the rainbow serpent isn't like a...
It's not an evil thing, but not all things are. There are stat blocks for like unicorns and Pegasus and things like that, like nice things. Dragons can be nice. Love a good rainbow serpent. Exactly. Which games do we play the most? Pretty much 5e. 5e is what we play. We have had experiments in loads of different systems. We recently ran a 2-shot in the Call of Cthulhu system. Which was really fun. We had the Dare.
That was a horror one.
And if you want to check it out, it is on our YouTube. In fact, I think one of the eps is still in the VODs. No, won't be. It'll have actually just deleted itself. Because it was exactly 2 weeks ago.
Have to go to the Chipper Views.
So you have to go to the YouTube, which is there. There's the link. And on Wednesday night this week, we will be back for a charity game. We're not raising money so much as promoting a charity thing that's already happening. And you can donate to it. And if you do, I'll work on the honor system. If you do, and you say you do, and you tell me you do in chat, I will let a wild magic surge happen to somebody of your choice. On Wednesday. So we are running, it is from the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth. The link is up here. The Curious Compendium has a one-shot in it that's a really lovely little story called the Legend of the Żartitsa, I believe is how it's pronounced. Żartitsa.
Dara is laughing her ass off at you
in spirit. I'm pretty close, I think. I'm not exactly, but I'm pretty close. It is a Ukrainian term for the firebird, literally hot bird, I believe. But Żartitsa.
We love a hot bird.
It's a hot bird. And yes, a team of adventurers will be going through that. Lovely to chat with you as well, Ella. I do a big thing about my channel is I like to interact with my audience. I am a live performer. All 3 of us are live performers, actually. Karen and Malaika are both burlesque performers. Karen and I are also actors. And we really like the interactivity with our audience. It's the sort of thing that really drew me to Twitch when I first started playing on Roll for Damage a long time ago. So yeah,
many a moon ago.
I've prevaricated long enough, so we should probably do favorite DM moment.
Oh yes.
And the person always goes last, so you guys have to flatter me now, I guess.
Oh. Gosh, let me think.
And chat, if you have favorite DM moments as well, you can. This is something we have borrowed from the Dreaded GM, who is another fabulous streamer, Ella Ezra. If you are looking for more D&D in your life, Dreaded GM and Phoenixy Wacky, both top-shelf D&D DMs in this time slot as well, although Phoenix streams all over the place. He's based in Japan, but he's got time slots all over the place because he's got players all over the world. And I'm dead jealous because most of mine are based in Australia.
Australians are all right, you know.
Oh yeah, no,
Not too bad.
I've got a Russian.
What are you collecting us like trading cards?
Yes, gotta catch them all. Play semi-regularly with a Swede. Actually, a pair of them. Because we've also had Tony Karlstrom, the lovely Tony Karlstrom in chat, come and run Mutant Chronicles for us. That was another system we had. That's you can also find that on YouTube. Karen and I have played Last Shooting. We occasionally have, and I am currently homebrewing my own BattleTech 5e system. BattleTech Mech Warrior Combat for 5e. I don't count, Josh? Yeah, no, you do. That's who I was mentioning. Yeah. Play with a lovely Swede occasionally. You would be the lovely Swede, Tony. So, actually, I play with two lovely Swedes, because Adana would also count.
Adana is also a Swede.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I really enjoyed when you kind of revealed we'd been swimming around in circles.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because you freaking love your little, caught you in a little roundabouty trappy thingies. And the wicked glee when we work out that we've been trapped in a loop is always enjoyable before I get annoyed that now I'm trapped in a loop and have to work out how to get out of it. Though fortunately in this case, it wasn't a puzzle. We just had to kill her.
Would have worked, but you didn't manage it. I was like, oh, okay, not going to try again? No, cool, all right.
I kind of got distracted by being attacked, not gonna lie, so...
Thank you for the follow on Twitter, Ella. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be there until the hell site implodes. Or if anyone starts bothering to abuse us on Twitter. At the moment, we're kind of skating under the radar, but... I should go and say a few scandalous things on there, see what happens.
Bishop Blood likes my, the necklace. The description of the necklace. I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm also starting to get the idea that cannibalism is just a bit of a thing now. Yeah, look, it was not my intent, but it's come up a lot. Is it cannibalism if you're eating something that isn't your species? The thing, it's just eating babies.
This is the ongoing argument.
Are you going to end up inadvertently converting everyone to veganism by the end of this campaign?
Hey, look. I'm not saying that's not my goal.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I was gonna say, just as I don't know if it counts as my favorite, but it did get like increasingly hilarious how dead babies were such a narrative through line in this campaign. Like it's just sort of touched on at the beginning, and then you just never stop. It just kept coming back. And I was just like, oh, okay, so this is like a thing in this campaigin. It's not just like a one and done. We're just gonna keep at this.
It's gonna keep mentioning dead babies. Cool.
Yep. Ah, man.
Ella, I will throw that one over to the Mother of Bunnies. She runs our Twitter.
I will be happy to follow you back, Ella Ezra. I will go look after this.
My favorite me was... I think I always do quite a good job of the description.
Yeah.
I think my favorite me was the balancing so many NPCs. I thought I did that quite well. And
always a bit of a mind bender, swapping all the accents out.
Coming up with a good, like, a solution to the problem. Because So we are running this, and I don't know if Malaika knew this. This adventure is based on the Ghosts of Saltmarsh.
I did not know that.
And so it's based on a book, but the notion of going to negotiate with the lizard folk is in the book. However, the solution regarding the Koalinth and the Sea-Elves is not. Shimmereef is my own creation. It's not in the book at all. And yeah, coming up with that solution. I was driving to my brother's to help him move house this morning, thinking, what am I going to do with these guys this evening? What narratively, what little enclosed narrative can I put them on to have a bit of an adventure, an intro for a new player, a bit of problem solving, a bit of role play, a bit of combat, and hit upon this idea quite quickly. And I was like, but they need a solution. Who can solve this, and how could it be solved? What is the... Oh, wait. Why don't we have them all being nuclear deterrents for each other? And yeah, I thought that was actually quite a neat idea. It was like everybody in the Alliance is basically... Nobody can afford to betray anybody because everybody else will have them. And yeah, was quite good. Spiky Trident. Oh yeah, the Spiky Trident. Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, the ink, the squid ink coalescing into the seriously spiky trident. Yeah, that Shahagan priestess was a bit of a boss as well. Literally, and also, like, yeah, she was cool. I went looking through the back of the Ghost of Saltmarsh has a whole bunch of various Shahagan things, and when the Shahagan baby swarm, it's not called that. It's called the Hatchling Swarm. The description of them is not in the book. That I made up. And I like the tadpole thing. Yeah. So there you go. That was my favourite me moment. Well, thank you very much, everybody. So I think we should probably head away from here now, because we've been going for a bit of a while. But before we do that, I need to say thank you to Sirenscape for the music, the sounds you're hearing. Thanks to Woodenforge for the joy they're bringing. You can buy your own stuff, it all comes straight from a tree. Recommended by me. Shaped by Aaron and Nate, shipped to thee. So I thank Woodenforge for the affiliate, so I can share it with ye. Like that. The rest of the outro is not music. Guys, who the absolute heck are you? Malaika, who the heck are you?
Oh, Jesus Christ, this again. Hi, I am a singer, burlesque performer, based in Australia. I do things. I hate getting put on the spot, evidently.
Have you got any shows coming up that our viewers could see you at if they wanted to?
I am performing in Pride, and apologies to the producer because I have got to look up the name of the show because I cannot remember it off the top of my head. But
they're probably not watching.
Believe in yourself, John. The show is called Walken Court. Apologies to my Indigenous siblings if I mangled that. And it is a show that is at... Doesn't even say where it is. Good job making that poster, guys. But it is happening during Pride in Perth on the 25th. It's entirely a show consisting of BIPOC performers, so Black and Indigenous people of colour. Obviously, we're all various members of the Alphabet Mafia. And if you decide to make your way down, you get to see us, shake a leg and show a tit.
Splendid.
Like,
get them.
The Alphabet Mafia. That's amazing.
The global LGBTQ community. Like, yeah, we're having a bit of a rough time. There was another incident that occurred in the US on Trans Day of Remembrance of all days. So if you are even, whether you're a member of the community or even if you are just an ally, we would love to have you and to come out and show your support during Pride.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Karen, who the absolute heck are you?
I am Karen. I am a writer, a performer. You can find me on Twitter as Mother of Bunnies, and on Instagram as my burlesque alter ego, Miss Lola Moore, who doesn't have anything going up till Fringe now, I think. Just taking it easy, chilling.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot coming. It's just not burlesque.
I've got a lot of elf work coming up.
Yeah.
But less stripping in that because it upsets the children.
I think it upsets the parents more than
something for the dads. Finally, there's something for the dads.
When is it men's turn? Someone think of the men.
Well, no one think of the men. I have been ignored for too long. happy to be a Christmas equivalent of a weather girl, Karen.
Hey, this is why the elf costume is not super sexy.
It's not
okay?
sexy at all. No. And she'll
It
be
hints
my
that
elf
I might
as well.
have feminine shape hidden beneath.
More than once, though, we've been caught, like, in front of parents, not children. We've never done it in front of children, but there's been, like, a parent around or something who's overheard the elf and Santa having a discussion very much as husband and wife. And and I've more than once I've heard someone say, "Does Mrs. Claus know about you?" Shh.
He's not allowed to know.
And Madame et Monsieur Dason's last accident 0. And Madame et Monsieur Dama Underheron and Beings of Indeterminate Gender and Persuasion, I be Josh the Pirate, and you can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, which I run with me lovely lady wife, but you know that because you've done it already. Good job, keep doing it. And we play D&D here. We often play other things as well, but most of the time we play D&D. You can come back tomorrow night where I will be talking D&D and doing home brewing for the first time in a while. I've decided to finally put Into the Breach down and do something else with my time. Wednesday night I will be running the one-shot from the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, and Thursday night will be more Humblewood! It's a big week for D&D, and then we will be back next Monday for more Mano a Mano, where Beryl and Oceanus have to sell the Shimmereef Council on this whole let's not be at war with the Koalinth thing anymore. See how that goes. If you like the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to tone the face down a bit, you can check me out in the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar and his little dragon, Crush. And the There Be Dragons logo is down in the bottom corner. Splendid. Links are all there in chat. Santa got himself a damn Christmas harem. One year I had 3 elves. It was weird.
I was not one of them.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, down at Hawaiian's, Pasadena. Because there was 2
oh, yeah,
running
you did have 3 elves. Never at
drawing.
once, though.
Oh yeah, no. But there was 2 of them running the drawing thing.
Oh,
In
yeah.
different places. So I did have 3 elves.
Okay, I retract my statement. You did have a harem of 3 elves.
But we don't use that word.
It upsets the lovely children.
It's Santa's. It's called a slayful. Lay. All right.
Just ruining all the Christmas shit right here.
What else do we need to talk about? We have all the socials. We have the YouTube. We have the Discord. And I shouldn't try and sound as bored as I am. They're all great, and I really enjoy interacting with our audience in and with them and on them and around them. And yes, if you want to hang out, we have the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered up in our Discord where you can chat and comment, and we'd love to see you guys there. It would be marvelous to have you. Karen, is there anything else we need to talk about? Ukraine,
yes, we have 2 links in chat that will go up. There are various ways for you to donate to support Ukrainian refugees. First one is for the Emergency Action Appeal, which is an Australian-based charities, not-for-profits, come together to raise money for Ukrainian refugees. Last time I checked, it was over $4 million, which is amazing. But there's about 11 million Ukrainian refugees and climbing. So if you do have some spare dollars to flick their way, please go right ahead. The second link is for the Curious Compendium of Slavic Myth, which is what we are playing on Wednesday night. Very exciting. But if you would like to get ahead of the curve and have a sneaky peek, you can follow that link. Minimum donation is £1, which is about couple of Aussie dollars, and you get the 38 pages of Slavic-inspired creatures and subclasses. There's a beautiful Ukrainian map done a la Tolkien. It's all very pretty. And there is the one-shot campaign in there that we will be running on Wednesday. So I'm not allowed to read it before Wednesday. But
there's also a sort of a side quest as well. It's like there's a full one-shot, and there's also a side quest that I seriously considered putting in this, but it was non-combat, so I didn't.
Next time.
It featured a witch. But she's a nice witch.
Nice.
Alright, well guys, I think we should go away from here now. We've been streaming for a good long while. So, and we will do like what we normally do and raid the Eldritch Scribe, who feature our lovely friend Daria, who did most of our channel art. So we will go away from here and do that. Guys, throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell Daria and the others, Des, Raf, and AJ, and there's a couple of others I don't know, where you came from. Show them the love. Tell them how much fun you had here, unless you didn't, in which case you can be quiet. And we will be back next. I'll be back tomorrow night. I hope to see you guys there, if not in the future.
Wednesday, Thursday, next Monday.
So many times.
All the days.
Times. Most of the days. Say goodbye, everybody.